G-ball, you gotta stop doing this.
Look, all my life has been neglection, so now I pick up the pen and use it as a weapon. Yeah, you can see that I'm affected. People getting killed for nothing but obsessions. You need to look at your reflection and decide who you are. Stop acting disconnected. Got mothers killing kids. People kill to live. Well, I be on the mic, speaking how I live. Every day I wake up, it's another person that's dead. And YouTube has to solve it because the law is filling kids. I'm disgusted at the evil in the end. And if you connect the dots, you'll see the vision in your head. Why do people die as victims to the streets? They wonder why I'm up all night and can't sleep. I'll be the voice for everyone who can't speak. L.E. failed Kylie and now Sammy is free. AWP did a good deed and y'all be talking all that shit while they just do it for free. 16 days for 35 minutes. Y'all tried to throw them off and just want to play the victim. Reaching out to YouTube channels for clout. I wouldn't check it. TV if I went in your house. And SF investigate, stay sending out the hate. Why you mad at Doug and Nick for finding Kylie in the lake? Make it make sense. You're a fake bitch. You were there for money and now you're mad over fake shit. And that's something I can't relate with. Zero emotion from the mom on the stage. But the devil in her eyes. I can see it through your lies. Got Sammy on your street.
Yeah.
FBI, you've been grooming little kids.
Let's get wrapped up.
It get Mel calling Ronnie up on the line. Why you lie to the people and say you gon' do it live? Santa May out here looking extra sus. Got an arrow on the ground pointing towards Kylie's truck. And you wanna come and up church. I think your butt hurt. You tried to blame the man for your dog, but couldn't.
You tried to blame the man for your dog, but couldn't find the dirt. What's going on, Rap Gang? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? We live in the building. I know a lot of people wanted to call in yesterday, and I know I'm talking like a fucking auctioneer. What's going on? The other Aaron? Hannah, what's going on? Shout out to you, Hannah. I appreciate you coming by. Blessings. All good energy to everybody that's coming in. I appreciate you guys coming by. I know a lot of people wanted to call in yesterday, but I feel I got to get that clock running, and I can't be so nice to everybody. I can't. I know I'm going to, I will be nice, but I got to really stick to some time constraints because other people want to talk. But there's a problem, right? So the problem that we have when I do these phone calls and I have people call in is that people will call in. Now I'm talking about lately. Now, when we were running Idaho for all day long before Brian was arrested, right? We had people calling off the hook. Now it's either some people are calling or nobody, or I'll have one person call in and nobody's calling at all. So we can either do it two ways. You get 5 minutes and I tell you when your 5 minutes is up and you can say your little outro piece. Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me on here, T-REV. Lock your fucking doors. Right. Because that's what I'm going to tell everybody before I hang up. So we can either do it that way or we can do it 5 minutes. And then when the phone starts ringing, you get banged on. And that's pretty rude in my opinion. But, some people, I get that you guys have a lot to say. So it's either we do more than 5 minutes on the phone calls. So we either up it to 10 minutes or we stick to 5 minutes. You say your piece, get out. You know what I mean? Not get out, but hang up on the phone and let somebody else call in. I don't know. I'm too nice to hang up on people, I guess. That's what they tell me. But I mean, I can if I have to. If a lot of people, I don't want to be that way. I feel some type of way when I do something like that. I don't know. What's up? Thank you, Angelic Darkness. I appreciate it. The Chicantí, Miss Doozy in the building. What's going on, Doozy? Yo, GPT Jenny, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming by. Make sure if you're new here, hit the like button, subscribe. It's free 99. We don't ask for fucking donations around here. We just like to get on stream and hang out, right? TC seems kind of hyper today. Hey, it is what it is. You either wake up on that right side of the bed or you wake up on the left side. Today I woke up on the right side, so I'm gonna stay that way, right? What up, Andy Potts? How you doing? What's going on? Welcome. Andy Potts in the building. Everybody shout out Andy Potts. Damn, I don't have the sound deck in here with me today, so I'm gonna have to do it this way, right? Hold up. This is the way we're gonna have to do it. Let me bust this bad boy out. Where's it at?
Stop the cap.
It shit's extra loud when I do it this way. Hold up, where's it at? Crime Mutant? No, that's not it. Man, you know what?
Block his ass.
Oops. Shit said block his ass. Hold up, where's the other one? I can't. I gotta have this one on deck. You gotta have "Oh My God" on deck, right? Oh my God, you gotta have that. That's a must for me. And then we gotta have this one. This is important for me too. Shout out to everybody in the building though. Damn, that's loud as hell. Yeah, but shout out to everybody in the building, man. I don't have the sound deck in here. It's in the studio. I didn't want to go in the studio and get it, so exactly. Do you, Trap? Thank you, Miss Doozy. I appreciate that. Mama in the building, Cali Thunder, Mama Cali. What's going on? Yes, agreed, Rev. Time constraints, yes. So, do you guys really think time constraints? Just Susie's thoughts. 5 minute time limit, y'all. Who got 5 on it? Mac Pride, what's up, my dog? I hope you're doing good. Every time Mac Pride's in here, he's got some jokes, man. Eddie Murphy in the building. I think the phone lines are off because people said they were calling. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to find out. We'll find out today for sure. We'll find out today. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Everybody welcome Anthony. What? Don't play me like that. Appreciate it. Let's see. We need more callers for facts. I mean, who's gonna 8 minutes, says Delana. Okay. 8 minutes isn't bad, to be honest with you. Is 8 minutes worse than 1 hour and 30 minutes of listening to Detective Juan? Yeah, we love you, Detective Juan, but I don't think nobody wants to, people will listen to you for that long, but you got half the group that don't really give a shit about Detective Juanito. And we got to take in consideration to that, right? Nothing against Detective Juanito. I'm just saying in general. Detective Juan, you're great. We love you out here, right? But we got to be fair. We got to give people time to talk because people want to talk. Now, there'll be times where I do a segment with Detective Juanito, and it'll be, you know what I mean? 5 and by. Bing bong. Brenda says, hey, T-REV and everyone in chat. Thank you. What's going on? Hope you're having a great day, Brenda. Glad to see you. CKI says stick to 5 minutes unless it's an important phone call. LOL. See, that's where shit gets messed up at. You'll give somebody extra time, and then it's like I feel bad, so I will let whoever I talk to next talk for a long time. Then the person after that talk for a long time. So important call or not, if you have an important call for me, and you have some information and you want to talk, call me off the air. Like Mom Bomb, like Paula did. Call me off the air. I will take that phone call, but you definitely ain't going to troll me. That's for damn sure. Midwest Girl 69 says, woohoo, look at 30K. Congrats, T-REV. Keep it moving. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's only going to go up from here. And we're running 2 channels at the same time. But I do want to jump into the topic of the day. The topic of the day and the topic of the last couple days has been the IDs on Brian Kohberger. Is anybody else involved? I mean, those are the lives and everything that I see going on. People are I've seen a whole entire live dedicated to Brian's freedom, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like I've really seen a live that was like dedicated to Brian didn't do this. There's no way the phone pings don't add up, and just tons of different things. And I'm like, really? There's a group out there that thinks this man did not commit these crimes? Yeah, I respect it if that's your opinion. But when you got a whole entire community, I was like, damn, there's a whole entire community. I'm not even going to name who it is. There's a whole entire community out there. I've seen everybody in the damn comments, besides like maybe a couple people were like, you guys are fucking crazy, that thought Brian is innocent, or they think Brian is innocent. There was like 500 to 600 people in there. I'm not even going to name the creator because I don't even want to do that to him. But in general, I seen that. I was like, damn, so there's really that many people. The people that think Brian did not commit this murder, I want to hear from you guys today. I want to hear from everybody in general, right? Like Papa Sal and everybody, that's cool. But I want to really hear from the people that don't think Brian Kohberger committed this crime. I want to hear from you guys. I'm not convicting the guy before he goes to court, but I want to see this evidence. I really do believe he did it. I'm not convicting him because he's innocent till proven guilty, right? But I really wholeheartedly think this guy done this crime. I think he committed the murders allegedly. I think that he's the person. I think we got our guy. Now, I do possibly think maybe there's one other, or yeah, I think there's one other possibly connected, possibly. And it could be unintentionally. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Salvatore gets more than 5 minutes, says Mac Pride. Riverhouse, one call will prompt another call. Right. The right side is always the best side. Exactly. I agree. I think you do 5, but if I'm going to chill and you do let it go, you feel like it. Angelic darkness. Thank you. I appreciate that. I caught a wild live. Yeah. Hey, T-REV and gang. What's going on? Welcome, DD. I appreciate you coming by. Mind over matter. Sometimes it's good to go over the 5 minutes, maybe 8 minutes. Allegedly, information could be valuable. Right. I mean, we could do 8 minutes. Drop it in the chat. What do you think? 5 or 8? Because a lot of people say 5, and then people got, have more to say than 5. And I see people in the comments like, let them talk. So we can move it to 8 minutes or meet in between that, right? Or like 7 minutes. I always fight with the time. I don't know what it is. Sal, Colin, Diane. How you doing? Nice to see you, Diane. Let me scroll down to the comments that are coming in now. Poet to my heart says Lana's channel. Actually, no, it wasn't. But I don't know what's going on over there. But actually, it wasn't Lana's channel that I seen what I seen. I'll leave it at that. I want to hear what the Chicantique has to say. Sorry for butchering you. Hey, I call it the Chicantique, right? Miss Doozy says, I think it was Brian, in my opinion. Hey, others are going to have different opinions, and I like that. I like the fact that people develop their own opinion. That's what I give my platform for, is for people to have other opinions. Brian Solo, in my opinion. I do believe he is, but someone definitely helped, in my opinion. Hey, congrats, Tattoo Rebel. Hey, congrats to you, T-REV, on 30K. Keep growing and keep being the best show on YouTube, my brother. Much love and respect to you in the chat. Thank you, Tattoo Rebel. I appreciate that, man. I hope you're doing well also. Thank you. Shout out for the shout outs. I appreciate that. I appreciate the love, man. You see me at 11K, so you've been around for a while. Nicely Insane says, to me, it's likelihood of being someone else. Okay. Alyssa says some people need 2 minutes, some people need 10. It's hard to say. I get that a lot in the comments. I mean, fire it up. Let me take it off Do Not Disturb. If you guys want to call in, go ahead and call in. The line is open right now. The line's open right now, 219-885-9693. Let's hear your thoughts. I got the clock at 7 minutes. You know what? We'll try 8. We'll see what 8 goes with. If 8 doesn't ride, then we'll change it. Clarence says, I think 7 minutes is perfect. I mean, I just changed it to 7 minutes and looked at that. Brian Kohberger did the crime and will do the time. How could anyone think he didn't do it? His DNA was on the knife cover, the sheath. Right. See, the thing is, Lori, and this is what I think about from a personal aspect, like just a personal angle that I take, is I look at the cases that I've watched in general over, all my years in loving true crime. I look at these cases, stabbing cases in particular, and just think about all the evidence that each person that stabbed somebody, and all the circumstances were quite different, but it still involved a knife and it still involved stabbing somebody, and they got blood spatter on them. They transferred blood into their, vehicles or on their shirts and shit, or shoes. Then when they go back to where they live, if you look at other stabbing cases and look at the evidence in the stabbing cases of what got them convicted, you start to apply what happened in those other cases to this case in particular. Like, okay, this is a chance of this type of evidence coming out, because, I mean, just if you look at 75 to 85% of these other stabbing cases, it's got the same type of evidence in it. That's how I piece my shit together in my head. But that's just me. Finding a jury will be relentless, says Deja Vu. You think so? I'm half blind, mouthy mama, so I cap to see my words so I don't mess up. Says he's half blind. He can't. I seen you say that the other day too. Matt, call in. You are so cool. Papa Sal, call in. You are so cool. Damn, I missed you. I missed your call in. I didn't find this channel till after he was arrested. I think a lot of people found out after he was arrested because they released that phone call, or people took that phone call that I had from early December 14th, and posted it on, and it blew up. So it blew up on Twitter, TikTok, and all that. 603, what's going on? You're live. 603, can you hear me? I can't hear 603 at all. Hold on, let me make sure we're hooked up right here. Oh, I see why. I see why right now.
Hello?
You can hear me? I heard you. I heard you talking. Weird. Let me reset this. It's doing it in here too. I feel like I'm about to get a new service. This is trash. Let's try 603 again. 603.
Hello?
603. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. How about yourself? You're live.
Oh, not bad. I'm doing good.
That's
Happy
great.
Tuesday.
You said, how's my tooth been?
I said Happy Tuesday.
I thought you said, how's your tooth been? Happy Tuesday to you too.
Oh, that's funny.
That is funny as shit. So what's your thoughts with everything that's been going on in this case in general from when you first followed it to now? I mean, has your thoughts changed at all? What do you feel like?
Okay, well, I kind of have a little list because these were a couple of questions I was trying to get into Detective John yesterday because I love him and I wanted to get his perspective on it. But so the ID thing, there's a part of me that thinks the leak itself on the ID. So to me, it reads more like a half-truth that's mixed with a little bit of misinformation, and it was purposely given to this person who is a suspected leaker, so that when the information, it's like, how to catch a rat 101, basically, is kind of how I look at it. I don't think because the way that the report came out was that this ID is supposedly tied to someone, from the King Road residence. And then people picked it up and was like, it belongs to a victim. It's one of the victims. And that's not what was said, right?
Right.
So there's a part of me that thinks the leaker probably got set up. And now they know who the leaker is because they gave them this piece of information that's like a half-truth. Yeah, they found some ID cards in a glove in a box, but they probably embellished it a little bit to say, oh, it's tied to someone at King Road, just to catch the leaker. Because I'm pretty sure that, both sides in this, prosecution and defense, are pissed. People are leaking, if there really is a leaker. So my belief on it is either the source is probably totally bullshit, or if it's not a bullshit source and they're leaking, it's illegal what they're doing. And I would imagine both sides wouldn't be happy about it.
I'm sure they caught wind of it by now too.
Oh, that's what I mean. So, like, if you're trying to catch a leaker, you're trying to catch a rat, catch a mole, what are you going to do? You're going to set them up. So there's a part of me that thinks maybe the whole ID thing might be bogus. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm speculating that it's either a bullshit source or it was purposely put out there to catch someone who they believe is leaking. Because what they're doing is illegal.
Absolutely. Breaking a gag order is definitely illegal.
Right. It's definitely contempt, So if there is an actual source, doesn't matter where they're from, if there is an actual source leaking information, I would imagine both sides, defense and prosecution, would be pretty pissed about it and want to catch that person. So maybe this information was given to catch them. Who knows?
Right.
And I know I only get 5 minutes, but there's something that I'm hoping, if Detective John is listening, or maybe you can pass this question to him. I wanted to ask him yesterday, right? So, you played the video before that shows from when the news crews were all outside and they were filming inside the house while forensics was there. And I just wanted to get like Detective John's perspective on, we were told by Moscow PD and by the coroner that all 4 of them were killed in their rooms in their sleep.
You're
and
talking
my
about.
question is,
Go ahead. You're good. You're good. Keep asking that question.
well, my question is, if they were all killed in their bedrooms while they were asleep, I want to know why forensics spent like 5-6 hours underneath that good vibe sign in the living room, stepping over things, and all the time they spent in the kitchen. Because the way it's been explained to us is that, by law enforcement anyway, is that they should have been in their rooms, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
there shouldn't be the way that I'm looking at it when we were watching them in the house. There's a woman specifically who looks as though she has to keep stepping over something. And I don't want to be morbid, but to me, it's like she's stepping over a body and then she's leaning down to like swab. And then there's someone else taking pictures and things like that.
Right.
So that leads me to believe that maybe we're not getting the full story here and they weren't asleep in their rooms like we were told. I just wanted, because I know Detective John has been on a lot of these types of scenes, right? So
Yeah.
if they're all asleep in their rooms when they're killed, I don't understand why forensics would spend so much time in that one area of the living room as well as the kitchen.
Yeah, that's I don't know. They were allegedly killed. Madison was on the floor, allegedly, and then Ethan mattress, allegedly. And then you got Maddie and Kaylee upstairs, which I don't think nobody or anybody's really discussed where their bodies were found in the room. But yeah, that's a good point. It's a little
bit confused because even Kaylee's dad, I remember in the beginning, he said he didn't have to go upstairs. And for a while I pondered on that, and I'm like, didn't have to go upstairs. And there's a part of me that wonders if Kaylee was the only one that was upstairs. And Maddie was maybe Maddie was passed out on the couch. Maybe, do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
yes, ma'am.
But the way that it was described to us by the coroner and all that we know from what we've been told is that they were supposedly asleep in their rooms. So I'm a little confused as to why forensics would have been spending as much time as they did in the other areas of the house. Like, because I know you were playing the video the other day, and that forensics lady is stepping over something.
Yeah, I just put it back on too. I just put it on before. I had it playing before. But yeah, that video, the one where they're inside and they're talking, they're looking around and you can see the woman coughing or sneezing or something, and she covers her mouth, but then they don't have on hair nets and shit like that.
Well, the lady with the short hair, the one that's doing the swabbing, she has to step over something a couple of times. To me, it looks like she's going around and has to step over the body to get to the other side to do the swabbing while someone's taking pictures. I just had a couple of questions as far as what we were watching happen in real time. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure that Detective John went ham on that and was, I remember the stream quite well because he talked for 90 minutes about it. Literally was talking about how it was a proper PPE and he was just mentioning a bunch of mistakes that they made and how the defense attorney would tear apart that video alone.
Right.
I was like, what? He mentioned it on a live. I forget exactly verbatim what he said, but I'll ask him what you're asking for sure.
Well, that's what I mean. I'd like to get a law enforcement person's perspective and an actual detective. We hear everything we hear. They're still a part of me. I'm so torn as far as what's going on here. You know what I mean? Because we haven't been given we still, you know, we weren't even given a time of death.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know,
No doubt.
and that to me, so like normally on most, you know, homicides, right? Usually within the first 24 hours, law enforcement is doing a press conference. They're going to let you know time of death. You get a little bit of a, but we didn't even get that. We didn't get time of death. We know the roundabout time of the crime, but they're using that based on like the survivor's phones, not the victim's. So it's a little bit confusing, you know, that they wouldn't be using the victim's phone to kind of determine what happened. But
right.
And then there was one other thing I wanted to get his input on. Maybe he's in the chat. Hopefully he's listening. Now, in their sworn documents that they submit, law enforcement admits that there's a phone ping of his, but he wasn't there. They don't believe he was there. And I'm wondering what Detective John thinks about, wouldn't the defense be able to use that to say, see, they admit that on one of these pings, he wasn't even there. So the rest of these are questionable as well.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
I feel like that would be something that they could bring up and say, listen, you've got 12 pings, but you already admitted one of them he wasn't even there. So how do we know the rest of these pings are even accurate?
Yeah, that's a good. I'll definitely ask him next time I talk to him. I appreciate you calling in. I'm gonna get some more people on. It's been 8 minutes. Thank you though. I appreciate it. I'm gonna definitely have him watch this and listen to what you're asking, and maybe he'll call in and answer it.
Well, thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you for calling in. God bless you, man. I hope you stay safe.
Lock your doors.
You know what time it is. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Bye.
Shout out to her. If you want to call in, it's 219-885-9693. Make sure you call in. You got to drop that clap. I don't care if I don't got the screen back in here or not. So, a lot of people seem to think that about the cleanup. Let's see. I seen Tattoo Rebel ask something about Discord. Tattoo Rebel, about Discord. I integrated YouTube with Discord, being I have it private members only on Discord. So by default, YouTube will remove anybody who doesn't have their account connected in Discord. So if you don't have your YouTube account connected, being I have it's a perk for every perk that I have is Discord. Private Discord is they will remove automatically out of Discord. So you can integrate your server with your YouTube channel, so people can't just slip in there under invites, right? So if say I post an invite right now and Johnny sends out 50 of them, if they come in, I'm gonna see that and they'll get removed. You get what I'm saying? So I had to implement it because trolls were swooping in the server and shit like that and being weird and screenshotting stuff out of my Discord, which was super weird. I see my Discord on somebody else's live. I don't even fucking know like that in general, but it was weird. I know that house was overwhelming with smells. I felt they were doing a lot of inventory, had their cases set up in the kitchen. Let's see. What I want to know is, where did those kids get the Bud Light times? I thought they stopped selling them. Did they, Bud Light times? I don't know. I don't drink like that. I was drunk on Easter. That's about it. Once they tear this house down, they're not going to be able to see these kind of things on the carpet stains, etc. I agree with that too. I don't think they should tear the house down. Tearing the house down is a big mistake. 916, you're in the mix. What's going on?
Hey, did you guys see the original, or tell me if you remember this? There was a report that the fight with Ethan went into the kitchen. Wasn't that one of the original reports?
That you said, so the site that Ethan went into the kitchen?
Yeah, I mean, originally, like when it first came out, I thought I remembered them saying that Brian and Ethan had fought in the kitchen because there was blood on the cabinet.
I've never seen that. I've never, ever seen that. Now, the biggest rumor I've heard was Ethan being killed on the stairs. That's probably the biggest rumor I heard as far as that, but never have I seen on paper there was a struggle in the kitchen.
Put your timer on, and then I'll let you practice with cutting me off.
I got it on.
You're just too nice.
I got it. I got it on. It's on right now.
I'd be like, time's up, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know. I can't. I don't know. I just don't like being. I don't know, being mean to people. You give what you get.
You're very, very sweet, but you could totally practice on me and give you some courage. But anyway, yeah.
Bye, motherfucker. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, gotta go.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, but yeah. I mean, on the stairs, and I don't know. I agree with what Detective John said yesterday, and that was that I thought that was blood too, coming off the outside of the house on the foundation. And that would indicate to me that, Rosanna or somebody was on the floor up against the wall, bleeding out. But when somebody said, that, the forensic people were eating chips and whatnot in the kitchen, I thought I saw that too.
Yeah.
You could see them in the windows. There's no window covering.
Yeah, I see they're walking around in certain locations in the house. Now I think where they're standing right there on that video is right by the hallway, which it is. That's right by the hallway to Xana and Ethan, where Xana and Ethan were found. Now I can tell because I went to that house, that 3D house visual. I could tell where they're standing in that window is right as soon as you get up the stairs. And if you were to go around that balcony, you would go straight down the hall, and the end of that hallway would be where Ethan and Xana were found.
Right. That's right.
So they're swapping for something right there, it seemed like.
And then somebody, actually, what was his name? I actually told him he was right. He said, he was like, let me give everybody a lesson on the Constitution and whatnot, and the PCA, whatever, is just saying that this is what we think we have or whatever. But he's right. And when they did the DNA, it actually wasn't a solid DNA swab on the sheath. They actually had to go to a second lab. He was right on that. So, right. I mean, and in the report too, the sheath was actually found, because it was in the report, was found under Maddie's body, like under her thigh. It's kind of how, it was kind of under her. So it wasn't at the end of the bed. It was like found under her. Because there were some questions. I mean, when they were talking to Detective John yesterday, I was like, But no, I think Brian did this. I mean, I think that my concern is that Dylan or Bethany had something to do with it. That's just my thought. I don't know. But I think he's a one-man show as far as him doing it alone physically. Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like maybe at most, though, really, that somebody in the house would be involved. Allegedly, right? I mean, at best, I feel like somebody in that house is involved. At best.
One of the things, though, I was thinking about is that, I don't see very well at night at all. And when you showed that thing where how dark it could be, he did have a flashlight, but depending on how good his eyes are, he may not have seen her. If she's standing, like, he may not have seen her. I mean, that is a possibility. I thought I saw him wearing corrective lenses in one of his pictures. Like when he was driving or something. Haven't you seen him wearing glasses at one point?
Who, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I seen a picture with glasses on or something. I could be tripping, though. I thought I have seen a picture with Brian that had glasses.
Right. And there's no way he didn't have blood all over him. I mean, that is going to be a bloody mess. I mean, imagine stabbing that many times with this huge knife going in and out of people's bodies and blood flinging up. I mean, he would have it in his hair, on his face. I mean, it would be everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely would be everywhere.
In the bushy eyebrows.
Bushy ass eyebrows.
Hit him in the face. I'm just saying, I mean, there's no way that guy did not have blood transferred into his car. And why do people think that it was Brian Kopeka or Brent?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question. And I don't know if it's because he lived right not too far from him, and after that, there was a shooting. So when I guess suicide shooting by cop, etc. You know, when you have something like that, it's gonna automatic, and then you have the stabbings. It's not too long after that. It's gonna make people speculate.
Right.
But imagine this not even happening. Nobody would even know who the fuck a Brent Kohberger what is. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, it's the timing too, right? They're saying, well,
it's the timing.
And I mean, how many days was it after the stabbing that shooting happened?
I'm trying to remember what Brent. That happened around December. I want to say between December 12th and the 15th. Let me look it up and check my facts. Brent.
When was he arrested?
I'll tell you right now. All right. I know Brian was arrested on December 29th.
Okay.
Was it December 29th or the 8th? 28th. I forget. It's one of those days. I was live. Okay. I remember being live that morning. I remember Ethan's brother posted, I think it was on Reddit or somewhere. He's like, we got some big news. And it was prior that night. And I was thinking in my head, they definitely got somebody or got something. They definitely got something connected to the case. And then I went live the next day and they announced, I remember it first came out with these two kids got posted up from Facebook. And I looked them up. But it was wrong. It wasn't them, and then it ended up being Brian Kohberger that they arrested.
Hey, was this shooting at Washington State University?
The shooting was, I don't know exactly. I never really dug way too deep into exactly where. I'm pretty sure it happened. From what I heard, it happened at his apartment or near his apartment. But yeah, they're saying it was near Washington State University campus. So I'm guessing it's at this university, Steptoe Village. This is where I'm guessing it happened at.
Right. And I know I have 30 seconds here because I got my little timer on too, but I'm going to make you cut me off.
You got 1 minute and 24 seconds.
I still have that much time? I don't even think people need 8 minutes. That's so much time.
Yeah, no. Some people have a lot to say.
If anybody is listening that knows anything about this Brent Kohberger thing and legitimate reasons why they think he's connected to this, I'd love to hear you. Because, I mean, where's the legitimate connection to Brian on this? Other than they were neighbors. I don't even know if that's true.
So, so December 14th. December 14th, 2022, it says, when a SWAT team responded to the scene of the 1000 block of Southeast Lataw Street in Pullman because Kohberger was threatening to kill his roommates.
Oh, that's right.
So, I mean, I don't know. Somebody he could have been drunk. We don't know his state.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to me, too, about the drug thing. I mean, that was put out there right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know. But then again, Brian was a druggie, but I do not think in any way that these kids were selling drugs from that house. Maybe Dylan was, and Bethany, I don't know those women's character, but the other girls, I don't know fucking way. I don't think they were drug dealers. I do not. I mean, do you think Xana, Ethan, selling drugs?
Do I think they were doing drugs? And time's up, but I'll answer that 100%. Okay. You said, do I think they were doing drugs?
Selling?
Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, I don't know them enough. I can see they party at the house, right? I mean, it's not impossible for them to be selling drugs, but do I think they were? No, but it's not impossible. If realistically looking in, it's not impossible for anyone to be fucking selling drugs. Especially, at a party house and you got people partying. What are you going to get when people come over to your house and are looking for shit? You're going to get money, right? Because you got people coming over to your house and partying. So people are putting that together there in their mind and they're saying, okay, well, there's probably some drug dealing going on over there. Personally, I don't think any of them were dealing. Now, could somebody in that house have been dealing? Yeah, absolutely. But I personally don't think so. I feel like we would have heard that by now coming from maybe the family or somebody. I feel like they would have spoke out and said that. Yeah, I know there was a known drug dealer in that house. You don't think Steve would have expressed that or anything? Right. You know what I mean? That's what I take from it.
Yeah, I'll let you go because my time's up. I can't wait for Steve to be able to talk again. So the guy just says it straight. All right.
That's what I'm saying. Not me neither. I can't wait. I thank you for calling in, West End girl. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
God bless you. Lock your doors. out to West Day Girl, man. Everybody clap it up for her. If you want to call in, it's 219-885-9693. Yep. Lines open. Lines open. Hold up. Salvatore. What's going on? You live. Papa Sal.
My brother.
What's going on? Salvatore.
Salvatore. You can do it. You can imitate me.
Salvatore.
Just put wait a minute. I gotta shut the fucking TV. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, Salvatore. I hear you.
All right, you got it? You gotta do it like a Salvatore.
I want to set you off though, hurry real quick. So what is your thoughts on this, the ID being found allegedly? Now we don't know that to be true because it hasn't really came from law enforcement, but I know a lot of people have a lot of stuff to say about News Nation and all these different spots that are, or different places that are reporting it, and it came from News Nation and now it's spread across the internet and even to the likes of the New York Times, and people are, Daily Mail, and you got everybody reporting that. What is your thoughts on that? Do you think it's true? And I mean, where's your head at with everything?
Well, let me tell you, I'm going to go against the grain, okay? I'm going against the FBI, the CIA, the ABCs, the CBS. I'm going against everybody.
Oh my God!
There you go, brother. I think, and everything I'm going to say within the next 7 minutes, so whatever you give me, is all allegedly. I don't want to keep saying allegedly.
Yeah, no, everything that you're saying right now, everything that you're about to say for the next 8 minutes is allegedly. Go ahead.
Allegedly. Okay. You think, wait, this guy left his fucking sheet. It's the house. You think he picked up an ID? I don't think he picked up an ID. They have an ID, but nobody's saying whose it was, what it was. No, this fucking guy left his nice sheet in the house. You think he picked up an ID? Okay. Well, here we go. As for being a serial killer, sorry, guys. I just don't believe it. I think this prick went in there and viciously and savagely killed these poor, beautiful fucking people.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back to what I said, and there's no cartel. Let's put the drug thing to rest here. Look, we had party places when we were young, and we were selling 8 balls and ounces and shit like that. I mean, if there was a drug thing, it wasn't big to where a cartel is going to come in and slaughter these people. I'm sure it was 8 ball, an ounce maybe. You know what I'm saying? Are you following me?
Yeah, no, I'm following.
All right. Now pay attention or I'll slap that fucking hat right off your head. Okay.
Oh my God!
Okay. Serial killer. No good. He is not a fucking serial killer. Did we mention this already?
Yeah, no.
No. Okay. Definitely no serial killer. Why he or whoever did this did it is the fucking magic question. Why? Why did they do that? Why did those people die? That's my thing, is why. I don't believe in the serial killer thing. And as for Bundy and whoever else you guys want, DTK, these guys have been out there for years. They were a lot smarter than this motherfucker. I think this was his first kill. And he got caught. He got fucking caught. He's a fucking moron. He's an idiot. Don't compare him to Bundy, BTK, and Jeffrey Dahmer. Don't. There are similarities because of how he killed or where he killed or whatever. But no. definitely not a serial killer.
Mhm.
Okay. And what do you think about that? Do you think he's a serial killer?
Do I think that Brian Kohberger is a serial killer? I possibly really do think he might be. He might have been. Maybe he has committed a couple. You know what I mean? I don't know. When I think about
Well, I get what you say when you say it's possible. It's possible this prick did other shit. Okay, it's possible, but I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I respect that. I think the only reason I think that is because I don't know. I don't. It's just the fact that he went in and so viciously took 4 lives that it's like, okay, did he get away with a few and think that he could just go ham and do whatever he thought he was God walking on fucking water?
All right, listen to me. I told you this when I first met you on one of my first calls, that by the time June comes around, there's going to be all kinds of shit coming out. All kinds of shit. So it puts the thought in your head, oh, wow, maybe he's a serial killer. Oh, wow, he did this. He did that. You're getting everybody talking that is coming out with scenarios. And you're going to hear a lot more by the time June comes around. No. Again, I'm going to tell you, because I got 3 minutes left, I'm going to tell you what I believe fucking happened. As for him hiding in the house, no, I don't believe he was hiding in the house. I believe he was hiding in the parking lot. He was watching those fucking girls from his car in the parking lot. They had no shades or windows. He knew Maddie and Kaylee were upstairs. He's seen them upstairs. Okay? He watched them. There's no way. Okay? He didn't hide in the house. He didn't have to. He was watching them from the fucking window in his car. Okay? That's where he was watching them. And as for him being in the house, I'll bet, JRL or SNL, whatever you want to call that guy, he was there the other night.
I seen it.
At around 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And you got to hear the fucking parties that are going on around that neighborhood. It's unfucking believable. I don't know how other people sleep. They make too much noise. It is unbelievable. Definitely a party house. If they sold drugs, it wasn't that huge. Did they do drugs? I believe they did. I I don't think that. Okay. Look. All right. Here we go. Before I lose my train of thought, you know what I mean? If I do that, I'm gonna have to come there and slap your fucking head. Hold on. No hiding in the house. He's been in the house a few times. Guaranteed he was at a couple of those fucking wild parties. Guaranteed. He knew the house. He's been to the house a few times. And the car thing. Those cops that pulled him over never checked his fucking license. They never ran his fucking license, guys. What the fuck? He pulled them over and started talking to them like they were buddies. Nobody said, let me see a license or registration. If he did, he didn't run it. And that's fucking weird, okay? That is fucking weird. They run your fucking life. Detective John, if you're listening, let me know. They would definitely run his license, okay? And I hope I ain't saying anything, Detective, that would make you want to hit me with your billy club. You know what I mean? Don't come and hit me with the billy club. Just blow dry my hair. All right, hold on a minute. Hold on. Didn't even run his license. Bundy and Dahmer, get the fuck out of here. This is all the shit I had for yesterday. I was just jotting shit down. But here we go. This is what happened, allegedly, from me. He was watching the house. My time's running out. All right, should I get the fuck out of here or what?
Say what you were gonna say. You got. I mean,
No.
time is out, but I mean,
No, I want to know if you're gonna knock me out. Should I hang up?
time is out. But get your last sentence off.
All right. He was watching them from his car. He came in through the sliding door.
Uh-huh.
Okay. He didn't. I'm going against the grain now. He didn't go upstairs first. Sorry, CNN, Fox News, the FBI people that are looking at this case. I am sorry. No, he went into the kitchen, noticed fucking people coming out to get some of the food, and he attacked them first. Okay, how he did it, I don't know, but he attacked to where I think Ethan got it first. All right, and then he went after Dylan, and Dylan tried her best to fucking get the knife out of his hand, cutting her fingers almost off. Okay, then the fuck, and I say fuck in capital letters. I don't want to hear no caps. The fuck went upstairs. Why he passed that room? Another why. I don't know. I don't know why he passed that room. He went upstairs, did what he did to them, or checked the dog to see. He checked that other room. There was talk about him putting the dog in that empty room upstairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
He put Murphy away. Or he opened the door and seen Murphy there and just shut the door. It was an empty room. Then he went in and he slaughtered the other two. Okay? And before he did that, when he was downstairs, that's when Kaylee said, I think there's somebody here, with all the scuffling that went on downstairs. And another thing about knocking that house down, the jury has to hear. I want them to hear the fucking sound. I want them to hear what it's like to say, I think there's somebody here. I want them to say, whatever they said, the jury's got to hear this shit. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then he came downstairs, and if Dylan cracked the door to see what was going on, why he didn't see her, I still think that he didn't see her, because if he did, he would have stuck that fucking K-bar in her throat. Okay? So he didn't see her. He walks out into his car, can't fucking drive. He's making breaks. He's hitting curbs, whatever the fuck he's doing. And he leaves. And that's my story. I'm sticking to that. Okay?
Yeah, we'll see when this trial comes, man. I appreciate hearing from you again, Papa Sal. It's been a couple years.
Yeah.
It's been a couple years, man. I haven't heard from you since 2020.
Nah, it hasn't been that long. Don't let me come there and punch you in your neck.
I'm waiting.
Not that long.
I'm waiting.
Hey, let's do a panel with Detective John.
All right, I'll try to set that up with him.
Yeah, let's set it up. I like to hear what he's got to say with my shit.
No doubt, Papa Sal. I appreciate you calling in. I love you, pal.
I do love him, okay, Detective. I love all the guys in the family. I love everybody. T, take care of yourself. Take care of your dog. That puppy, take care of him, okay?
Yes, sir. I'll hear from you soon again, Papa Sal. Now go back and watch some Netflix, all right?
I will. Lock your door. Lock your door.
Love you, pal.
I love you, pal.
All right, later on, Papa Sal. Shout out to Papa Sal, man. Shout out to Papa Sal. Papa Sal. Give it up for Papa Sal, ladies and gentlemen. Papa Sal says, I'll punch you in your neck. All right. Let's hear it. Next. 219-885-9693. Make sure you call in. Let's hear it. Okay. 479, what's going on? You're live.
T-REV. You cracked me up, dude. You
Papa
cracked me up
Sal.
watching you and Papa Sal talking, and you got me rolling, dude. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Anyway, I got
Papa
to thinking
Sal's a
about you
trip.
last night. Do what?
So Papa Sal's a trip.
Yeah, man, I love that guy. I got to thinking about watching your show yesterday. I got to thinking about a few things, and one of the things that makes me laugh too is that lady that kept calling you T-Rex. So I'm gonna call him T-Rex from now on. You know? No, I'm not gonna do that to you. But as far as it never really occurred to me when I had called you, I don't know, a month and a half ago when it first came out about that knife. You said, "So what do you think about that knife, dude? They found." I said, "Dude, it's just a knife. I don't care, And it never really occurred to me what you were trying to say to me until, like last night when I was watching your show. It's like, wait a minute. He put that as number one, knife. We found a knife. We found the knife. But he wasn't going to say, hey, we found that knife or the knife that we were looking for or the weapon, And then he put off that, Smith & Wesson knife. And, of course, again, backing up, listening to the conversations, they only talk about, they only write down the things that they are specifically looking for, So do I think they have the murder weapon? Yeah, I do.
Damn. So you think they got the murder weapon at this point? You really?
I think so. I think so. Just by the way they wrote that, knife with the long line after it, and listening to Detective John talk about it and you talk about it, yeah, I think that's the murder weapon. So I'm kind of, on edge of my seat wondering if that's what they really have, if they really have the murder weapon.
Damn. So they might. With that, that was interesting on that document that it just it had one knife circled and then you have the Smith & Wesson knife labeled and everything else is labeled, but yet that knife up there is just knife and then with a big line across. So it's like, what are you guys saying here?
Yeah. You had Carrie. I'm gonna mess her last name up, so if he's listening, I apologize. Carrie Prestula. She had mentioned something about blood being in the kitchen, and yeah, if you back up a bunch of videos on another channel, they do show blood coming down the cabinets too. She compares in her video. She compares the kitchen to Zillow or something like that, and says, "Yeah, this is where the cabinets is. This is where the refrigerator is, and that's actually blood running down the side of the cabinets or down the front of the cabinets." And another person had put in something about the house being just really shitty built. Yeah. When you got blood coming down the walls on the outside and seeping through the floors and stuff like that down the walls and in the cabinets in the kitchen, yeah, it's a pretty shitty built house. So they probably, bought that house for say $36,000 way back when and threw a $15,000 addition on it and said, that's good, rent it out. Piece of shit house. But everybody's talking about them tearing it down. So did the school decide? Or they left it up to the courts. Did they decide whether or not they were going to tear that house down? Or are they going to leave it up? Do you know?
I don't know. Last thing I read was something about I was some article that one of the family members is trying to put a stop to it, but I don't know how true it is because being everybody can't really talk about shit. It's like I don't know whether it's true or false. But I don't know, man. I hope they don't do it though. I am trying to find out. I'm looking it up again right now. I'm glad you reminded me. Idaho Forest House.
The last I'd heard, the because there was so much, yeah, do it, no, don't do it. The school said, hey, you know what? We're going to leave it up to the courts to decide if we should tear it down or not. And they were going to put it in the court's hands or the judge's hands.
Yeah, it's in the judge's hands right now.
You know that several.
I had to look it up. It says now I know a lot of people don't believe News Nation and all that other shit, but they sourced it out. I don't know who their source was, but it does say that the judge is to decide on the demolition of the victims. Also, I think I've seen it on. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure I've seen it on Brian Enton talking about it too on Twitter.
Yeah. Another thing, I kind of Papa Sal's theory makes sense. He knew he was going to go in there and unlive someone. There was a person that there was definitely a target. That's for sure. And I mean, again, we go back what 3 months and ask ourselves the same question: why would a guy go to a state that has the death penalty to commit a murder? You know, I mean, when you can stay in your own state and do 25 years, 30 years, or maybe even life, but why go to a state death penalty? So yeah, there was definitely somebody there that he was targeting on deliberately. And man, it's just a shitty way to call somebody collateral damage. You're collateral damage. That's bullshit, man. That sucks. I hate that term. But anyway, well, I appreciate the laughs, dude. I just want to let you know I'm still around. I'm still watching your show and still love listening to Papa Sal. He cracks me up, man. He just cracks me up. I love that guy.
Yeah, Papa Sal's a class act, ain't he?
Yeah.
Funny guy. Funny
anyway,
guy, man.
You have yourself a righteous day. I'm going to go out and hang out with the dogs for a while, let them run around in the backyard.
No doubt, brother. Enjoy it. Enjoy. It's probably nice. Well, I don't know where you're at, but I know it's nice out here. I know that.
Man, I'm down in Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas.
You guys just had storms and stuff, right? Tornadoes and all that?
Yeah, last week. Last week they rolled through. That was down in Little Rock, though. It's like 3 hours south of me. I'm in Bentonville, home of Walmart.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, brother. God bless you. I hope you have a beautiful day, man. Lock your doors when you come back in. I'm playing with the dogs.
Yeah, man, they're cool. They're cool. I love them. They're my kids.
Yeah, no doubt. Ain't no doubt. Well, you have a blessed day, brother. I appreciate you calling in. You pretty much call in every damn stream. I appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts. God bless you. Have a good day, brother.
All right, man. Love you. See you.
I'll be back, man. Lock your doors. 801, what's going on? You live.
Hey, T-REV. I've been meaning to catch you live. I haven't seen you in a while.
How you doing?
I've been catching your shorts
on
YouTube, and I haven't caught your lives. Okay, so Crime Circus had a theory about, well, like he adds on to the theories of Brian Kohberger being the Uber driver.
Yes.
And I was thinking about that, and I was my spinoff theory was that would explain, like, not maybe he was the driver but not the killer. And so let me explain that. I've had Uber drivers drive all over because it doesn't ping that you're delivered until the address pings. And I've had a funky apartment building where they had to like pull in the driveway, back up, drive down the street. It didn't want to ping as being delivered. And that's how they're going to get paid, and they can't put down that it's not delivered. And so that could explain all the weird, like, funky, let me pull over here, let me pull over here, let me turn around, let me drive all over the place, and finally pull in. I've had that happen with one of my deliveries. And then he said, well, people insert themselves. And so I thought it was interesting because remember that picture of the guy in the ski mask that everyone freaked out about, with the tan guy with the big lips, and it pinged at like 3-something in the morning on that night. And then that guy had to say something. And he could have said anything. I live in the area. He gives a shit if I live right over there. But he said he sold Kohberger a knife. Well, that's interesting because Kohberger could have looked at multiple knives and happened to touch one. Because then there's pictures of all these girls with ski masks on, like some kind of weird thing that they do over with their friends. So I thought that was interesting because that guy could have inserted himself into the situation, like, oh, this picture's popping up, I better explain. And then someone that is involved over explains, like, oh, instead of him being in the area, oh, well, I sold him a knife, here is a receipt. And we all know about screenshots. I mean, anyone can fiddle faddle with that, so that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? But then Kohberger's looking at a bunch of knives, and so yeah, he bought one, but he could have touched multiple knives that someone had, and then he's driving all over the place. It would also explain why he drove over there so many times late at night, or even the next day, if he's a night person, and so then he's an Uber driver. They didn't say he wasn't. And then Crime Circus said that they didn't even clear the Uber driver.
Yeah,
And so I
nah.
thought that was
The Uber
interesting.
driver was a girl. They cleared her.
I never did. I never seen any update on that because that's what he was picking apart was like maybe he was there and the Uber driver helped or looked out or something. But I thought that maybe he was an Uber driver and that would explain all the times he was over there late at night. There's nothing that says he didn't know him because the more shit that gets said, it's like he made contact and he had an ID. It's like that could have been, I don't know. Now that was in the affidavit. An ID in a glove was in the affidavit. It's just someone's trying to say it was one of theirs. So I don't know about that. I just think that, how many times have people said things and it was nothing. And the whole Brent thing, I mean, I'm just wondering if they're just picking off people that may have been involved or may have seen something, like it could have been like an ambush type thing. And it's like maybe, because with Brent, wasn't like no one even there and they just called and said he was threatening his roommates and then he could have went into PTSD mode when cops were there. Wasn't it like no one was even there but him? Isn't that like how that played out?
You talking about with Brent?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wasn't there was like a standoff and like it was just him though.
Right. Yeah, I don't know exactly if alleged roommates that he was threatening left or what. I don't know. There really wasn't much reported on it after that.
Mm-hmm. And then when that happened, like Kohberger wasn't even in the state. He was already in Indiana by then.
Mm-hmm.
And they so I don't know if it's like you're picking off. It's like so messy, but it's everything changes about how someone went in or who was watching them or who was involved. Dylan's story that has been reported has changed multiple times. It's like every time there's a new theory, it's like I don't know what to think, but it's like, oh, maybe he was an Uber driver and it's just he happened to buy knives and touch someone else's, because there are other weird things that happened that night in that area, as we find out. And it's not impossible that drugs wasn't in that house. I mean, in the way they're stepping all over everything, there is blood in that video on the railing to that stairway. It's like on the edge. So it's like, maybe the rumor that when she looked up and there was a rumor that he was standing up there, because if you look on that video where the two ladies are collecting evidence right before it gets hidden by the leaves. Okay, thanks guys. I didn't know. I haven't heard about the Uber driver. I was just running with that theory because it's interesting. But if you catch it where they're both standing there, you're going to see a smudge on the top of the stairway. I've mentioned it, but I said catching. I'm so sorry. People are like kissing. Sorry about my twang. I'm trying to slow it down. I'm trying to talk really slow, but yeah, I was catching your shorts. People are commenting about it.
I know. I see it. It's funny.
Yeah, but I don't know what to think. I just think that when it comes out in June, that there's gonna be a whole lot of stuff, and we're not. It's gonna be nothing. It's gonna be nothing like what we're all seeing.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of stuff that comes out that we haven't seen. You know what I mean? I really.
And it's like it's so crazy, and it's like it's not like it was one person and they were found on a street somewhere, and it's all bad. But there's just so much that happens so quickly. It's like it's almost like how can one person have done it? Because it was the person, he was in so much rage, right? Then how come he did people different? Because he did do them different. It's like, it just makes you think. No matter what, a new theory pops up, or there's an ID here, or there's something leaked, it changes your whole theory.
No doubt, it definitely does. I mean, with the ID thing, I don't know. I really think that it is him in general. But until if something comes out other than what I've been hearing,
or he wasn't alone.
You said what?
Or maybe he wasn't alone, and then he leaves, and then goes, "Oh, hey man, this dude's acting crazy with his roommates." Maybe Kohberger picked off the other person that helped him.
Right.
Like I don't know. It's like it's hard to believe he did it by himself because it was too quick and too clean. But then he had enough time to check rooms and and then kill them in different ways. Like that's in 7 minutes. I mean, it's like too professional, but then it's not. But my thought is up. So.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you calling in and being a voice in the community and sharing your thoughts. I mean, this whole shit is crazy. Like I said, it's every other day or every other week there's something coming out, and it's just it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I don't know. They need to just. I wish they would just skip and jump. We could jump to June right now, but unfortunately, there's going to be a lot more stuff that comes out until I think there's going to be maybe 2 or 3 more things that comes out before June.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, I feel it. For some reason, I feel that way. I don't know. I feel that
maybe
way.
someone was like maybe that wasn't a credible source. Maybe they were like, oh, it's got to be one of their IDs, and they're running with it because the ID was in the affidavit, but someone's saying it was there. So it's not like new information.
Either they skim through the PC or not the PCA in general, but they skim through the search warrants and were like, okay, well, we can maybe bring in some ratings by going to this paper sheet right here, and there's IDs there, so let's just say allegedly one of the victims, and then if we come out to be wrong, we can say we heard from a source or you know what I mean?
Because in the beginning this must have been a military guy from the woods.
But I'll tell you this much right now: it'll ruin their credibility if they didn't have any of the IDs in their possession. In my opinion, it's gonna for me, it'll ruin their credibility. I'll look at their shit a lot different if when the trial and everything comes out, he wasn't in possession of one of the Moscow residents' IDs. It's going to, so I will look at News Nation as a whole different way. I'm going to look at them in a whole different light.
People are the same way with Nancy Grace. It's like, how many times they run with their information like, this is what it is. This is a military man. He must have camped out in the woods and stalked them and it's like, it's Bryant.
But yeah.
I mean,
No doubt. Well, I appreciate you calling in. God bless you, man.
Yeah.
What's your, where you calling in from?
I'm actually in Ohio, but my 801 is because I was in Utah.
Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Be safe out there.
Yeah.
You said you live in Utah, but you're in Ohio right now?
No, yeah, I'm from Ohio, but here's a secret life hack. When you move, don't change your number because all of the telemarketers and spammers and scammers, they call you from the number that your area is listed. So I never answer any 801 or 395 with 385 and 801s. I never answer any of them because they're all bots. They're all like auto dialers. So
yes.
Yeah, so when you move, don't change your area code, and then you just don't. Then you know who's trying to spam you,
right?
Or trying to get hold of you because your car.
Ain't no doubt. I appreciate you calling in. God bless you, man. Lock your doors, and hopefully I hear from you again.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Thank you, man. Bye. Shout out to her. Good call. So, all right. So allegedly, this is where Brian Kohberger lived. Let's check it out real quick. Check it out. By the way, it's JLR over there. 949. 949. What's going on? You're live.
No way.
Yeah, that's easy to get through.
It's Helen again.
What's going on, Helen?
I just wanted to, I don't know, something's been kind of bugging me.
Okay, get it off. I'll start the timer right now. The floor is yours for 8 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. You know the shootings that have been happening lately?
Yeah.
Like the woman man that shot the kids in the preschool.
Yeah, I've been seeing all the shit going on. It's actually pretty wild. It's getting pretty crazy out here. It seems like every other day or week we got a freaking mass shooting.
Yeah. I just, I was like thinking, it keeps on bugging me. I was like, God, I wish somebody would talk about it. The fact that, they're pumping kids with testosterone or hormone blockers. You know, my husband had cancer, and he was on testosterone or steroids. I'm not sure what it was, but when he was on it, it was like he was pretty out of control and aggressive. So what I'm thinking is that, you know, that nobody talks about what they're pumping these teenagers or these young adults with. They don't know, like, are they pumping them with testosterone? Are they pumping them with hormones, which maybe physically their body cannot handle it? And maybe that's what is making them go off the rails. I just wanted to throw it out there because I don't think anybody's talking about it.
I've been seeing that shit on Fox News a lot lately. They've been talking about that like crazy.
I have been watching the news because it's kind of getting a little bit too depressing.
Right, no doubt. What I'll say here is I walked out into the living room the other day and Fox News was on and they were talking about exactly what you just brought up, the testosterone and, you know, transgenders and, you know, going to the bathroom with each other. They were talking about that on Fox News when I went out there the other day. I was like, what?
I just find it interesting from my personal experience. Like I've personally experienced the change in the personality and the change in the person. Like even some antidepressants and stuff. Like they put him on some kind of antidepressant after the cancer. And he was just like checked out. Like it's either one or the other. It's either testosterone makes him hyper aggressive, and then the antidepressants, he's not even there. He's like walking around like a zombie.
Yeah, no, they definitely do that to you. I've been on antidepressants and it made me a whole different person than I am now. I'm so quiet and just silent. You know what I mean? Like it really changes me to a quiet person.
For me, it made me so numb. Like I don't take them because like I need help I need a pot of coffee. I need help getting going.
Yes, ma'am.
Motivating, pushing myself to go and do things. I don't need help checking out. I can do that very well all by myself. Do you know what I mean? Or to be like a zombie.
Yeah.
Did you ever see American Beauty?
Yeah, no, I've seen American Beauty. Yes.
You know the wife that's been beaten down. That's how I felt with my ex-husband. Just like a zombie. Like, oh, the house is so dirty. Just like numb and checked out like a zombie.
Yeah, that's what that medication. That's what medications do to you. Is they may, or for most people, anyways. In stories that I've heard from the majority, or should I say, most people that I talk to, antidepressants make them numb or just completely quiet, change them into a different person, suicidal. If for me, that's what it did. So I stopped taking the medication all the way around.
Yeah, so do I. I'm like, I don't need any help. I prefer, I want to be more enlightened spiritually, mentally, and physically. So anyway, I just wanted to, I don't know, it's just been bugging me because, you know, if you experience it personally, like somebody on testosterone or steroids, I think that's what testosterone is. I think it's steroids. When you experience it personally, you see the change of behavior. It's like a on and off switch. You're just like, well, maybe it's that. Because if somebody was in their right mind or sensible, do you know what I mean? Like they wouldn't do that. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it's good to talk about. Maybe I got to start doing a live every now and then, maybe about mental health. Because mental health is I'm on disability for mental health. I'm not scared to say it. I'm not scared to say that at all. I'm on disability for mental health, and I didn't choose to go on to disability for mental health until the last, I'd say it's been almost going on 2 years. So, you know, and I have I've fought with mental health my whole life, and
Me too.
Panic attacks and I'd say panic attacks and bipolar has messed with me a lot. I'll put it out there that way in general because it has. PTSD also I struggle with. You know, I had PTSD from seeing people lose their life in front of me. So it's like when you have that, I don't know, it's just it changed my life dramatically, and it hasn't been the same since then. I remember being that kid that I could play and jump ramps and go into the dirt, and then as soon as some events took place, I never felt that feeling ever since, really, until I do music or stuff that I love doing. So when I get on here and talk to you guys, I get that normal feeling. When I do certain things, when I'm hanging out with my fiance, I get that feeling. But it always comes back, that PTSD, the panic attack, feeling like you're about to die. It always comes back. I'm always gonna have it. It's always gonna be there. But I know how to cope with it.
So how do you cope with it? Because I get extreme anxiety to where because I'm dealing with parental alienation.
Mm-hmm.
So I get extreme anxiety and I can't remember anything and I just freeze. I'm just like, my hands are shaking, my whole body's shaking.
I mean, it's
I try to talk myself out of it, but I wish I had a solution.
It's something that you're gonna have to find. Okay, so
I'm trying. So
it's
tell me
something
what you do. Maybe that'll help.
Okay, so for instance, it's something that I can put out there what helps me, but what helps me might help the next 50,000 people. But in general, when I go into a panic attack, I just I try to veer myself off into a space in my head, and I'll pick up my phone, go to a YouTube video, something that I'm really interested in, or something that I really love. Or
distract, or like pivot, change your focus.
Yeah, I change my focus. That's what I do. Even when I'm watching a video or doing whatever I'm doing to try to kill the panic attack, I'm still having that panic attack. But eventually, if you focus hard enough, your mind will be taken off of that. You know what I mean? Like if you focus hard enough, that panic attack is going to leave.
Well, thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. It's something that you're gonna have to try.
Because it's what it's like. It's like no matter what you say, it could be like, even if you say something and you think it's not going to work, you never know. It's like just having some kind of keys or some kind of tools to just try and give it a shot, and who knows. Anyway, I just want to thank you for all that you're doing. I think you're helping a tremendous amount of people all around the world. I really do. You're just giving people a voice that probably don't have a voice and probably feel alone. Well,
I appreciate the kind words, and anytime that you need to talk, you can always call up. I appreciate you calling up and feeling comfortable enough.
But could I get on? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, you got on, so
I know.
You got on, so I'm glad you got on, and thank you for sharing your thoughts, and thank you for being able to be brave enough to share your thoughts. I appreciate that, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I'll talk to you again. I'm sure I'll hear from you again. I thought I've heard from you before, so
yeah. I was talking about my kids' parental alienation.
Yep, I remember it was at nighttime. It was at night. You called up. I remember talking to you.
Crying.
Yes, I do remember that. I appreciate the conversation, and I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough to call back. And I'll hear from you again. Lock your doors, stay safe, and try what I told you.
Amen.
God bless you. Shout out to her. Everybody, prayers up for her, man. Prayers up for her, because that shit's hard. Thank you for being brave enough to call in. Mental health ain't no joke. Mental health ain't no joke at all. People downplay mental health, but it's really no joke. It's not to fuck around. 859, what's going on? You live.
Hey, T.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, Angelica. Anyway.
What's going on, Angelica?
Not much. I just had to chime in. Are we not just going to shit if that's BK's ID?
Oh yeah, right.
I mean, I'm gonna be like, no.
Right.
Anyway, I just wanted to call and say I hope you're doing good. Missed you while you've been off, on and off. I feel, the lady that called in, we've all been there, I think. And I want to say, number one, that from jump, like in the middle of the J's, from the time that I seen the back of the house, I had been like hardcore. This dude was stalking whoever it was, even before I knew, even before there was a BK, Brian, whoever, whatever. I've been like, stalker. He has stalked one of these chicks, and I've always felt like, number one person, one freak that, thought he was everything. Just went in, done what he done, happy about it, thought he would get away with it. That's how I've always felt. Right.
So you do think Brian's a guy?
Oh, I've always felt that. And if I'm wrong, damn.
Right. If I'm wrong, I don't have a problem saying it.
No, I'll say it too, but I'll be like, damn. Because I've been into nature grace and true crime my whole life. I mean, from the time I was small, I've been true crime.
So I got to ask you this. For somebody who's been into true crime your whole life, when you look at this case, do you compare them to other stabbing cases and say, look, all the evidence they had in these stabbing cases, I mean.
Yeah.
I
think they've got so much more that we don't know about. That's why I had to come up with, I was like, everybody talking about ID on here, and I'm like, it has to be somebody else's besides his. Because that's really going to be pissy if, it was his ID. You know, they've got all these clothes listed and all this shit. We know is his. Everything else. But then they got ID. Surely the ID is someone from that house.
Right. It's like that. And then, I don't know. It's like, okay, I see people in the comments, they're saying, News Nation's credibility is shot. And I get what they're saying, but at the same time, I kind of don't. So show me, if anybody in the chat can show me where they have been like just misleading completely 100%. I'd like to look at it.
Totally off the rails. Where, like, even, some of the news stations, they put, how do you say it, like most people that lie, narcissists, they'll put like one bit of the truth in there. And, I wonder, I just feel like that there is something to it, but damn, if it's his, that's going to be bad. If the ID is his, that is just, yeah. And it really is going to take a lot more of evidence. But with all the other cases, I don't feel like they picked this poor little nerd from, across the country who was studying criminology of all things, who you've seen the letter that the police chief sent back to him, even if he didn't get the job. Within that shorter time, he sent him that letter back answering him when he filed, at the police station. So, I don't think they pulled him out of the air. I just don't. I can't believe that. To say, hey, let's pin this on him. No.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I feel like in every high profile case, you're going to have a big group of people in some circumstances, especially when you have something put out like this in a PCA affidavit. And, now there's internet nowadays. So you're going to have a lot of people that are standing to the left side that are yelling, this is a setup, especially when we don't have all the information out. But when all the information and evidence comes out, I'm interested to see what people change, because in general, if I'm wrong about what I say of thinking BK is that guy and he's not, and there's not enough evidence to back up it being him, besides the knife sheath, the knife sheath could be planted there, but if there is other evidence, then it just farther solidifies, in my opinion, especially blood evidence in his vehicle. There's blood evidence in his vehicle. I mean, how can we question that?
You can't.
That is okay. That's what put making a murder guy. That's what put Avery back in on something I don't believe he done.
Yeah, I don't think Avery done that either. You talking about the tube of blood, right?
Yeah, that was a setup. I am a nurse. The vials have been screwed with. You could tell it. When you draw blood and you put the blood in, when you pull it closed, I mean, it don't look like that. That was a setup. The tape had been broken. I mean, here I go on another tangent. Like I said, true life junkie. But, yeah. I think it was him. I think he done it alone. I think he was getting his nerve up. You know, back and forth, all that. I do.
For sure. I for sure think the same thing. I mean, and if it does come out that I'm wrong, and I'll fully admit it, but I say what I believe. I say what I believe, right?
Oh, I do too. I believed it. Like when we were looking at all the jacks, and I was like at first, that boyfriend, I really firmly believed it was him, and then I just changed. I was like, when I seen those backwoods, and I was like, no, this looks like some freak coming in here, that they really are not personal with. They really don't know, but he thinks he knows them.
Right.
That's how I feel. I think he felt he knew them, he wanted them, and they wouldn't deal with him. That's how I feel. I'm probably over time.
No, you got 1 minute. Now I want to ask you, I got a question for you. Do you possibly ever think in your mind, do you ever sit there and think Dylan or Bethany could be involved allegedly?
Yes, I do. I don't think they're involved. I think they're involved in the way that maybe they know him. Maybe they did do drugs with him. Maybe they hung out with him. Maybe they had him in the house. They knew it was him. They locked themselves up. Yeah, I do. That's a big possibility. Do I think it would have made any difference if they had called at that moment? No, I don't. I don't think that as a nurse, no one was going to live in that house when he was done.
K-bar knife, yep.
Yeah, that nobody was going to save them. Nobody. They could have called that minute and no one was going to save them. But it's just the fact that they didn't.
Right.
I even questioned, was Bethany the only one there?
Mm-hmm.
Was the other chick even in the house?
Yeah, Bethany and Dylan. So Dylan was second floor, Bethany was first floor.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Dylan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dylan was second floor. So allegedly, it happened to pass her 3 times.
Right. She's a chick. I just had the names flipped. Bethany, was she there is what I'm thinking. Nothing has really been said about, her hearing anything. That's why the jury, I think, has to go to that house.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, but there's a lot of work's going to have to be done before they can go in.
Definitely. And
so much is that, yeah. But anyway, I know I'm over time. I hope you're doing well. And we'll see.
Well, thank you, Angelica. I appreciate you calling in, and hopefully I hear from you again. It was a great conversation. Great conversation.
You too. Well, I'm always on here, Ma, and I'll be watching.
God bless you, man. Lock your doors, stay safe, and I can't wait to hear from you again. And thank you for having a voice in the community.
Oh, yeah. Always.
God bless you. Bye. Shout out to her. Clap it up for Angelica. I'll make my stream deck. See, it's not about pushing a narrative, right? I just want to get this out there. I see people calling. I just want to say this before I see you calling 563. I'm about to call you back if you're listening. It's not about pushing your narrative of what you believe on other people. It's about having people that can think for themselves and put out their own opinion. So if somebody calls me right now and has a whole different theory and doesn't believe Brian's a killer, I'm not going to be. A lot of people try to bash me and say, oh, well, you give people a voice who don't think that Brian did it. Well, what am I supposed to follow your narrative? because they don't believe what I believe, because I believe that Brian did it, right? So you're basically saying because they don't believe what I believe, I shouldn't be giving them a voice. I'm sorry. I believe that everybody deserves to be able to speak, whether if they agree with what I say or agree with what you say or agree with any YouTuber says or the media puts out. I believe that somebody should come to their own conclusion. And I get it. I get what you guys are saying, but at the same time, if I did that, that's me pushing my narrative on what I believe, and that's not what my community is about. I don't push my narrative of what I believe. No Chains, for instance, she has something that she believes, right? And it's something totally different from what I believe. But you know what? That's like my sister. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with No Chains and what she thinks. That's something that she did and what she drew a conclusion to believe. I respect that. I respect if you believe what you're saying. You know what I mean? That's all I like to put out there is what people believe. If you believe that, then you believe that. 563, what's going on? Let's get you on the line. Call 563. 563, what's going on? I see you were calling. I said I'll call you back.
Yeah, hello?
What's going on, 563? You live.
All right, this is all I got to say about it. So all the people like doubting that he's the one. All right, first of all, he left DNA on the sheets, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. The phone towers tie him there multiple times before the crime, and then the day and the night of the crime.
Yep.
And then now the IDs. I mean, what else do you want?
Well, the problem is with the IDs, right, is it's not coming from law enforcement's mouth right now. It's news sources that are putting it out there. So that's where people are having a hard time.
Right.
Hard times are coming in. So I understand that. I understand that. That's why I said if it ends up not being true, then I'm gonna have a problem with a lot of these news places. Then that I'm just gonna go out on a limb and tell people exactly. If you haven't heard it from law enforcement, it's not true. So take it with a grain of salt.
Right, but and another point to that is, I mean, how many things have we heard through this gag order that came out to be true?
I mean, let's break down on that. What came out to be true? I don't pretty much.
Well, I mean, like how many things have we heard from like other sources that came out to be true? For example, the sheets, the sheets was the first thing. Like,
yeah, the sheets for sure. Now everything else has kind of been hush hush from the gag order in general.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? So it's like nothing can be corroborated because of that gag order. And then you got things coming out that is going to throw a crowd way left, like the Brady Gigolo act or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I didn't even mention the camera that has his car on camera.
No doubt.
Like, I mean, I even if he wasn't the dude that did it, they have enough evidence to nail him, and that's all I think.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I don't know. Like I truly believe that this guy did this. I just want to. That's why I tell everybody wait for the evidence. Because the evidence really may change my stance on what I believe.
Yeah, I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. Like, if they have evidence to prove that he didn't do it, and somehow it was some other dude in an Elantra, and he bought the knife from the guy, and they can prove to me that he didn't do it, then I'm the same, innocent until proven guilty. But it's looking bad for him.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's looking bad for him as of right now, But that Brady act that came out, or whatever the Brady Gigolo shit that came out, especially somebody lying or a cop lying, and I think we found that on the channel, which I think it has to do with Gunderson and Nunes who were on the scene. They had a case going on with the Wilsons, the guy Doug Wilson, or not Doug Wilson in general, but allegedly Roy Wilson and Nathan Wilson. They were posting Soviet stickers in Moscow, Idaho.
Yeah. I read up on that, but like I missed a bunch of that because I went on vacation and shit, and like I wasn't here. I'm Jacob 420 on the chat, so like I'm always in there.
Okay, that's what's up. I appreciate you coming by, and I appreciate you even calling up. So what is bothering you the most about everything up to date with right now?
The Brent Kopaka thing. Like I feel like there's something going on there. Even if it isn't involved with the crime, I feel like there's something going on there.
Yeah, Brent Kopaka. I hear that a lot. I hear the Brent Kopaka, man. I hear that shit every day. So somebody thinks Brent Kopaka is involved every day.
Like,
I don't know if it's because of the shooting and how close he lived to Brian, or I don't know. I don't know why people think that, but I respect that thought for sure.
I mean, hey, like I said, even if it doesn't have to do with the crime, like it's just something about that just, I don't know, it don't seem right.
Yeah, it definitely, the timing of it was pretty wild. I'll say that.
Yeah, the timing especially. Yeah, exactly.
The timing of that shit is eerie, for that to go on and that dude to be like right there by where Brian lived at, etc. That shit was wild.
Yeah, and he lived close to Brian. Yeah, that's another thing I didn't even really think about. Yeah.
Shit's crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on there in Moscow, Idaho, but to touch on a subject that I brought up before, the Rory Wilson and Nathan Wilson. So allegedly, or not, it's not allegedly, it's actually in court papers that Gunderson, etc., lied on the stand. So it's like,
damn, yeah.
Why those are the two, or that he was one of the officers on scene at the Idaho residence. So I think we found our Brady Gigolo act. I think we found.
So pretty much it's like they put him on stand. He's questionable.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's it. I mean, what else could it really be? That when you see something about an officer lying on stand in paper, it's like, damn. And I found it digging one night, bro. I was like, what is this Brady shit? So I looked up what the Brady Act was, and then I started looking on every social platform that I could possibly dig into, and I found that's what I ended up finding. I ended up finding that the whole shit with Gunderson and Nunes being involved with this Rory Wilson and Nathan Wilson guy, and that's where I was able to see that he lied on the stand against them, and they have a lawsuit against them. So it's like, I think there's our problem.
Yeah, because the defense is going to put him on the stand no matter what, because he's the first responder. He's involved with the whole thing. He's not just some random cop.
I think they'll kick his ass on the stand.
They're going to
keep bringing that shit up.
Yeah, they're gonna fuck him up on the stand. That's for sure.
That's what I think. I think they're gonna kick his ass on the stand. But hey, man.
But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to keep it short and simple. That's all I really had to say. But like, with all the evidence they have, even if he didn't do it, I mean, he's done. He's done for it.
No doubt. And no doubt. Well, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you calling up and sharing your voice and thoughts on this case. How long have you followed it from the start, or did you come in halfway? Or
man, as soon as the case happened, the day after is when I started watching your channel.
Hell yeah.
So like the day after, yeah. And ever since then, I have been watching your channel, nothing but. I even buy membership every month. I join the Discord, all that. You know me. You see me in the chat, Jacob 420.
Jacob, what's up, man? I appreciate you support and being here in general, man. You've been rocking with me, since what, November or going into December?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
No doubt, brother. Well, I appreciate it, man. Hope you enjoyed WrestleMania and seeing Adam.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
WrestleMania and the last fights, man. I'm glad Izzy knocked that dude out.
I know. I watched it too. That shit was dope.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, I'm gonna let some other people call in. I appreciate you doing what you do.
No doubt, Jake. I appreciate you, brother. God bless you. Stay safe, man. Keep the vibes going, and hopefully I hear from you again, my brother.
Oh, you will. All right, later, bro.
Later, brother. Shout out to Jake. Everybody give it up for Jake, man. Let's hear from you. 219-885-9693. I I got ADHD. Hold up. Okay, so that was it. Let's see. Let's check this out. Now, this is where Kohberger lived at. I think JLR was there. Shout out to JLR for doing all the groundwork. A lot of people hate JLR. That's cool. I understand why you do. If you've looked them up, then you probably developed an opinion on JLR. But I respect the foot and groundwork that JLR puts in with all these cases in general. And this is JLR right here on your screen that you're going to see pulling up. Now, he's out there at Brian Kohberger's apartment. You know what I'm saying? I don't see nobody else doing that shit. So I respect that, right? I respect the fact that he's willing to go out to all these different locations and give us an actual view of it. So let's check it out. Hold on, I got to take this phone call. 781, I hope you don't got a gun. You're live. What's going on?
Oh, what the fuck are the Texas Rangers?
What's going on, Helen?
Oh, hey, nothing much. I just wanted to talk to you, but I talk more because I'm deaf. I told you that. But I wanted to just talk about the house for a minute and then the gag order. Because I was thinking about some things. Anyway, they need to keep that house up. Well, no, first and most importantly, I'd like to say I'm so sorry to the families who lost their children.
Yes.
I lost my son, so I know it's awful. And now I want to talk about the house. Now, if I was on the jury, I would like to be inside that house, and I would like to be especially inside Dylan's bedroom with the door open to crack. So somebody can walk by and so I can see what I can see.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's how I feel. I mean, this is ridiculous if they tear that house down. I'm very angry. Now, another thing is the courts have a gag order on these people. Okay? How the hell can they get through this? Maybe they might need a psychiatrist or a therapist. For 10 years, once a week, I go to therapy because I lost a child.
So you
they can't talk to a therapist either.
Interesting.
Think about it. I mean, everybody needs somebody. You don't want to keep talking to the family and friends, but you can get used to somebody else on the outside. If I didn't have therapy after losing my son, I didn't want to go to therapy. I really needed to because nothing changes. Every day is the same since 10 years ago. Losing a child is, I have no words for it.
Yeah, that's
mean. The courts are being very mean if the families can't go to therapy and get help.
This shit's deep.
I mean, losing a child could be very dangerous to a parent. Because a parent sometimes doesn't want to go on because they don't know how to live without their child. It's scary.
Yeah, it is very scary.
So the courts are being very mean to these families by doing that. That's my opinion. I have my opinion about it.
Absolutely. And you would.
But and I went through it not the same way, not the same name. Not the cause of death was different, but my son was the same age. And it's the worst thing in the world. Nobody can imagine what it feels like unless you have lost a child.
Yeah, I don't know. That's deep. That's some deep.
Yeah. T, they should have a law against this. They should make it a law that a parent can't lose a child.
You're supposed to be buried by your kids,
Right. And so that feeling feels the same. Now I'm 10 years, from the time he died. Every day is still feeling the same.
I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I mean,
I can only
imagine.
It's an awful feeling, and my heart goes out to these families because when I left my therapist yesterday, I feel good after having a cup of coffee and with her and talking. And we don't always talk about things like that, but she got me through these 10 years.
Yeah, and I'm glad you actually found, because people struggle with finding somebody they're on the same level with when it comes to therapists and counselors.
Right, it's all trial and error who you find. I know, it's like, but I mean, these families might need a psychiatrist. I'm telling you. I seen the family end up divorced over when they lost a child. I mean, a lot of things can go wrong. So, psychiatry and therapy all should be in play.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm not going to, keep talking, but I was thinking about all these things. Just, this is so mean for those people that the courts are doing that.
They're definitely. I guarantee these parents are going through hell. Some parents want to be more vocal. Some parents are more vocal than others. You got some that just want to grieve to themselves. Especially when it comes to a murder case. Your child was.
That's what I'm saying, and everything about this is so dangerous for those families.
Absolutely.
On themselves, because you don't know how to live without your child, T.
So you
don't know how to go
this
on.
day. It's 10. You said 10 years, and you still
10 years. I still go to therapy every week.
I'm glad you still go. I mean, some people just let it kill them, literally.
Nope. I'll go to the day I die. I need to.
Well, I'm glad that you're able and have the will strength to do that.
Yeah, you have to keep the strength, and it's not easy when you lose somebody, a child. So my heart's broken for them, thinking that somebody, one of them may need serious help in the family, and they can't go and get it.
Yeah, no.
It's not right.
I agree.
But anyway, you take it easy, kid. I wanted to just call and say, who the fuck are the Texas Rangers? I'll call you again, honey.
Thank you, Helen. I appreciate it. God bless your soul.
God bless you and your family, too. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Lock your door. The fuck is a Texas Ranger? Shout out to Helen, man. Shout out to Helen. Everybody put your prayers up for Helen in the chat. I mean, she's got some willpower. She said her son 10 years ago. Wow. That's hard. I can only imagine what that woman has been through in general, just, the thoughts in her head, because she prevented it. And this is things that go through your head. Could I have prevented it? Could I have stopped it? Maybe I should have made a call. You know what I mean? And it's things and I'm glad she actually gets help for it, because a lot of people let it kill them. They let it take them to their grave, and she didn't. So prayers for Helen. Let's check out. The phone lines are open. Anybody wants to call? I'm gonna keep putting this video on. I want to see it. I'm gonna play some of it until somebody calls. Now, this is, if you just came in, this is JLR at Brian Kohberger's apartment. Let's check it out. Was it the end one or was it this one? Maybe it's this corner one right here. Perpetrator in court. That's a good point. Wow. Okay. My man's at the front door. I want to check out where he talked to the Mad Greek or not. He went to Mad Greek. JLR is out there doing the damn thing. I actually want to see that real quick. Did you share him in Discord about Emma? No, I'll check it out though, Regina. Remind me if I do miss it. Your entire life story over and over is an absolute nightmare. So this is where Brian Kohberger lived at. I'm pretty sure they had a picture on the side of here walking with like Benz and shit. I do remember seeing this on the news. You guys remember, we were there. We talked about it all day long, live. It's a 10-year-old cold case. Kohberger is getting eyed for committing. Damn. So that's his balcony. Okay. I definitely have to check that out, Regina. In my opinion, BK will be on the line in custody. Will be a trial and closer to. Damn. I hope they get the justice they deserve. Then take them out. Families deserve that. Some answers. In general, we are all shooting the shit. Brian said, "I like Brian. That's a good question." Brian Hoffman says, "Why did they not tell anyone in the community for 8 hours?" What do you guys think about that? I saw something about about 18 and 19 at the time, right? Brett can't vindicate himself. I don't think he was involved in this horrible crime. The infamous apartment. Scumbag Burger. All right. Y'all know JLR. If you don't know him, go over, subscribe to his channel. He covers Moscow very well. He goes to these locations on foot, and he records. And he reports. I respect that. He also went, let's see, opening. Okay, that's on Lori. Let's see. He also has, let me find it. He went to Brian Kohberger worked here. Actually, he's been to a couple locations where I didn't see the video. Brian's office. Here's Brian.
Lee Riches investigates. I'm standing out front of the Wilson Short Hall on the campus of Washington State University. Brian Kohberger, he was part of the Department of Criminal Justice Criminology in this building right here, number 12. He was a teacher assistant student in this building. Criminology, I am here. Number 12, authorities went in there with a search warrant and looked and seen what, if anything, he had at all that came out of this building here. This is one of the reasons why he came to Pullman, Washington from Pennsylvania. Brian Kohberger, the suspect arrested in connection with the 4 college students who were brutally stabbed during the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022 in Moscow, Idaho. Brian Kohberger studied criminology and worked inside this building right here. I'm going to show you this building. I'm going to go up close. It's closed, unfortunately, on the weekend, but it's number 12 in this building. And authorities came in this building with the search warrant.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wilson Short Hall. Looks like it's 4 stories. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stories. But it looks like it's closed today. Pretty sure Brian Kohberger walked up these steps before. And there's what inside the building looks like. Wilson Short Hall. Number 12. It is closed today. It is a weekend. This is the campus. Brian Kohberger worked with a couple students that were named in the affidavit of probable cause. This is not far from where Brian Kohberger lived at the Steptoe apartment. His apartment is a little bit, the road right here is Wilson, and you turn left and you go about a mile up the road to the Steptoe Apartments. And I'm going to show you this building here. We'll go around this building so you can see it firsthand. This is right off of Stadium. Brian Kohberger. Did he?
Fun fact. Did you guys know that JLR was in 9/11? I swear I seen him with a gift holding up 9/11 was an inside job. Fun fact.
Plot what he was going to do from this building. Has he plotted other crimes? What went on in Brian Kohberger's mind inside this building here? Department of Criminal Justice Criminology. What did authorities retrieve from here, if at all?
I know what video you're talking about. I gotta check that one out. We're gonna check that one out too.
What's your thoughts? What's your thought?
Bella, I agree with you 1,000%. Everybody has a past. Everyone.
On Brian Kohberger being involved with this university. Was he let go before the crimes happened? Or was he still affiliated with this university here? That is the question. And was there signs or clues on his behavior before and after, if he was still here after the crime occurred?
All right, hold up. Let's check out the I want to see the video with where was he at? Jack in the Box? Where's that at? Is that a live stream or what? Yeah, DoorDash delivery was a woman. Where is this? Where is the Jack in the Box? Grubhub. Let's see. I see where the Grub truck. I see mac and cheese. Let's see. Positive identification. See, he's got some good videos that he reported on. Make sure you guys go subscribe to JLR if you haven't. He covers this Moscow case really well, in my opinion. Brian Kohberger, positive identification. So we got Brian Kohberger, avalanche of evidence. Which video is it? Can somebody tell me which video it was where he was actually at the Jack in the Box, or was it on a live? Jenny says, etc. You went away. Those two boys were missing. I seen the food grub one in the town. It's so pretty. I seen the one that he did early on, and he walked down the alleyway, and that dude that's a sex offender was standing in the alleyway. Did you guys see that? What were the chances of that? Blue Mustang says, one reason this case piques my curiosity is because there's so much doubt. Anyone wrongfully convicted is convicted in the same system with strong evidence. It just makes me wonder. I'm still part of the 15%, says Coffee Cake. I think Bethany possibly in protective custody. Let me scroll down and see if anybody knows where that video is. I like JLR. I don't like JLR. I see a bunch of shit. So, hey, everybody has their own opinion. Why haven't we heard anything about the two arrested the same day as BK, Jason Elkins and Dylan White? Great. I'm glad you brought that up, because I was referring to that earlier when I was talking. I forget who I had the conversation with, but those two were reported out first. I remember JLR actually dropping that, and then we heard nothing else back, but they were arrested. DoorDash video. Great. Thank you for telling me. I'm going to it right now.
Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. I am covering the Moscow, Idaho case. I went live in downtown Moscow earlier in the evening, and I was showing everyone what Moscow looks like, and we saw the grub truck, and it was very, very busy.
Everybody's entitled to
their
own
opinion. There was a
opinion.
long line, and I didn't want to wait in line, and I also didn't want to put a camera, but I told everyone I was going to get some grub.
I'll check it.
food, and here's exactly what I got. I got the mac and cheese dish here. Everyone said, get yourself some Grub truck food. Oh my gosh. Look at this. I got it. It wasn't even expensive at all. It is so delicious. And I'm in my car in Moscow and I'm eating. Look at that. Look at that. You can't cover the Moscow, Idaho case on an empty stomach. So this is giving me the energy and the nutrients to find out what happened in that home during the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022.
I don't think this is the video.
Why did Brian Kohberger do it? I do think Brian Kohberger is the guy. I don't think Brian Kohberger was framed. This Grub truck food is amazing. I said all my lives that it was the Grub hub, but it's the Grub truck. Look at this amazing
DoorDash video. Second that next
dish. And it's nighttime. And I'm eating this at about 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Same time around the time Maddie and Kaylee went to the Grub truck to get some food after coming from the corner club. But I am in downtown Moscow in my car eating Grub truck takeout food. This is the most delicious. I give these people a 5-star review. Definitely get a 5-star review when it comes to the Grub truck. We love the Grub truck. Thank you, Grub truck, for providing me nice food. I am Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates. Check out my Moscow, Idaho playlist. We'll talk soon. I'm covering this case extensively. I'm covering the Brian Kohberger trial, and I'm definitely going to go back.
All right, so he was just eating the food in that one. It's the DoorDash one. So, okay, let's get to the DoorDash one. DoorDash driver right here. Boom. Here we go.
Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates. I am out front of the Jack in the Box in Pullman, Washington. This Jack in the Box is at the corner of Grand Avenue and Stadium Way, Pullman, Washington. Why am I at the Jack in the Box? Well, let's talk about the DoorDash that was sent to the Moscow, Idaho home during the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022.
I'm hungry.
Where 4 college students were brutally stabbed inside their home. Jack in the Box. I can confirm with you that the employee inside here spoke to me and said that Jack in the Box was the order that was delivered to the Moscow home around 4 a.m. Jack in the Box. DoorDash. Jack in the Box. And the employee told me that DoorDash, they're open 24 hours a day when it comes to DoorDash. So DoorDash can come throughout the night. It does not close at night. You can get a DoorDash at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and so on. Brian Kohberger lives right up there at the Steptoe Apartments. Right up at the top of the hill is the Steptoe Apartments. And people are wondering about Brian Kohberger arriving at that Moscow home around the same time as the DoorDash. The employee inside here told me the DoorDash driver that picked up the food for Xana was a woman. It was a woman with black hair. And the employee told me that the woman, after the tragedy happened, she stopped doing DoorDash because she was traumatized. Though it is believed, the employee said that she has restarted
Next thing we know, this fucking store is going to be under a gag order.
doing DoorDash again, but she was traumatized after the incident. The employee stated to me that authorities were in here getting surveillance footage.
Hold up. How would... All right. Respectfully, and I'm not saying JLR is wrong on what he's reporting, but respectfully, my question would be, how the fuck would she know, or whoever he talked to inside that store, how would they know this woman is traumatized? In case they're friends or no. You know what I mean? This is a DoorDash driver out of hundreds. So I don't know. That's just my take on it, but hey.
Talking to employees, the employee also told me that Brian Kohberger himself got DoorDash and was a customer here for himself. Now, I asked if Brian Kohberger is the one that ordered the DoorDash to Xana. He does not know. I asked who ordered the DoorDash. Was it Xana or the girls that ordered the DoorDash? He doesn't know who actually ordered the DoorDash. But Brian Kohberger was a customer, and I asked, what did Brian Kohberger order at Jack in the Box? And he said a bacon cheeseburger, which I found interesting considering that Brian Kohberger is known as a vegan. Does Brian Kohberger actually eat meat? I think the employee here was truthful and honest.
I could get that too.
Had a conversation with him, but I wanted to get some insight and some validation about the DoorDash, because some people think out there that
that's good explanations that you guys are putting in chat. Yeah, possibly. Maybe she is DoorDashing again and she needed money and she she went back there and talked to them. Very possible. Very, very possible. So I don't disagree with those comments, because that is a very big possibility. Small town word travels fast. Get that also. Very true.
That Brian Kohberger was the DoorDash person. The affidavit of probable cause in the Brian Kohberger case says that authorities spoke to the DoorDash person, didn't identify the DoorDash person, whether it was a male or female or any name whatsoever. But the employee told me here the DoorDash person was a woman. That's big. That's big to me, because it's not a man. But the question is now, who ordered the DoorDash? And did Brian Kohberger, is somehow tied to DoorDash or ordering DoorDash that, ultimately got to that home during the early mornings during the early morning hours at the same time that Brian Kohberger was there at the Moscow home, 4 a.m. I am out in the scene right at the top of the hill, Steptoe apartment. So this is very, very close to Brian Kohberger's apartment. Jack in the Box, they serve all day long. DoorDash, I'm out of the scene. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button. Trying to figure this puzzle out. Trying to get some other pieces to the puzzle that still we do not know. I want to know more about the DoorDash. We'll talk soon. Out here in the field, check out my Brian Kohberger, Moscow, Idaho playlist. Extensive coverage. I am in the scene, in the area, Pullman, Washington, Moscow, Idaho. What happened that day, November 13th, 2022, and why? Why did it happen? Justice for the victims and family, the entire community of Pullman, Washington, Moscow, Lake Tahoe County, everywhere around the country. This was a case of national interest. And, the public wants to know this, what transpired beforehand and afterward. How did this happen? Why did this happen? Why did Brian Kohberger do it? How did he know the victims? Was Jack in the Box a key link between Kohberger and the victims?
In the field.
Be safe about this.
In the field. I appreciate it. That's why I said.
Everyone.
That's why I tell people, man, you got to. I get it if you develop the opinion, because if you Google JLR, you'll see things about him that you may hate him for, or you may say, hey, everybody has a past. I have a past. You have a past. Some people don't. Maybe they don't have a past. But in general, most people have a past, and you're either going to judge them for it or you're not. I mean, I'm a fan of not being judgmental. The only thing that you cannot get past me, that I'll never be able to look over, is a child molester. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like people that rape women, shit like that. That's stuff that I can't look over. So if you've done that before, just know I hate you and I think you're a piece of shit. And I think you should be put to death. How about that? That's what I really believe. If you're one of them, that's what I think about you. Just know that. But yeah, in general, I do appreciate him going out here to these locations. It gives us a look at these locations. And you know what I mean? We kind of feel like we're there because he's there. I mean, it's cool that he goes and does what he does, because being on the scene and us talking about it are two different things. Which talking about it is great. Talking about theories and opinions for true crime is great, but being on the scene is awesome. I love it. Shout out to JLR for actually going out there. One day the dude's in friggin' Florida covering the Gator case where he lives at. The next day he's friggin' in Delphi, and then you got him over here and you know what I mean? He's everywhere. Say his name, he pops out. I was in Discord talking to Sereno. Sereno posts up 9/11 was an inside job. And he's like, look at the picture. And I look at the picture. I swear to God, it's JLR. Does anybody want to? I mean, let's look at it. Hold up. I'm going to pop it up and you guys tell me in chat if you think this is JLR. All right, here it is right here. I found it already. Tell me if you think this is JLR. Literally, I'm going to pull Discord over here. Tell me that ain't JLR. Go big screen. Chat, do you think, I know we're off subject for a second, but listen, is this JLR or not? Yes or no? Jack in the Box, Pullman, Washington. Oh, damn, I just tried to talk to our T. You're funny, Brian. Seriously, look at that picture right there. Tell me that is not JLR. There must be 5 JLRs. That is JLR, man. I'm telling you, that looks just like him. If that's not him, somebody ask him if that's him. I'm willing to bet right now that the $100 with anybody who thinks it's not, that's JLR. Swear to God, if that's not him, I'll gladly pay up. $100, that's JLR right there. What's up to Annie? 500. Any takers? I'm telling you, that's JLR. But anyways, man, you got to respect what he's covering. Seeing him there, like, damn, my man was at the 9/11. My homie was at 9/11. Yeah, that's him. Look at him. That's him when he was younger. Dr. Thrifty said it's him. Heather said it's him. I'll ask next live, Freckles said. Teddy Bear says no. Moore says yes. The DJ, that's DJ JLR. It's JLR. Yeah, can you zoom in? I wish I could. It wouldn't let me. I tried to. I really did. I could screenshot it and zoom in. I could screenshot that and zoom in. Let's do that. I really do think it is, though. Hold up. I'm going to pull that up. I'm telling you, that's him. I swear it is. All right, here we go. I got it pulled up right here. You want to look at it? Here you go. There you go, right there. Is that JLR? I got 5 on it. It's his twin brother, KLR. JLR was in prison. Does he have a twin? Dr. Thrifty, what's up? What's up, Dr. Thrifty? I think that's disrespectful. He ordered what Kaylee ate. Just saying. Avion, Ed. I didn't notice that. Are you talking about on that Grub Truck video? Was that what Kaylee ate? Yeah, I don't know. You could take it 2 ways for sure. Everybody got the double. Yes, it's him because I'm on phone. 100% yes. It's no debate. It's 100% him. Yes, no. I plead the fifth on this matter. Nope, not him. That's him. Yes. Definitely looks like him. He wouldn't wear a hippie shirt. Huh. Chin is different. Oh, what, like a butt chin? He said now everyone in Discord knows our inside joke, dude. Sereno, you're funny as hell. Where is Wally? I don't know. It looks like him, but we'll get off that. We'll get off that subject, right? Let's get off that subject. I just thought it was. I think it does look like him, in my personal opinion. But hey, I could be wrong.
Jonathan Lee Riches.
At that location, let's go back. He was at some other locations that I want to see. We're close to this case, right? So, where's it at? I just seen the video right in front of my freaking face. Let's check it out. Here it is right here. I watched this, but what do you guys think? Now, he's out here at the location. Listen to how it sounds.
I'm back out in front of the Moscow, Idaho.
I could be wrong.
This home behind me. Tragedy occurred. 4 college students were brutally stabbed during the early morning hours of November 13th, 2022. Authorities arrested Brian Kohberger in connection with the murders of these 4 innocent college students. this is the home. I'm back here, back
Angelica.
in Moscow, Idaho, at night. I want to give you a nighttime perspective of what the house looks like right now. Check this out. Check this out right here.
What his
This
location?
is the home.
Jennifer Dilly
And
says him.
around the area, there is music and partying going on. There's people out and about. They're walking around, and you still have a officer vehicle sitting at this home, and it's all gated up. It's all gated up and boarded up. Now, this home here, there's expected to be demolition at this home. See there?
I really hope they don't demolish
Very
his
hard
house.
to see when you zoom in because there's no lights here. But here is what the home looks like at night. Further, the whole neighborhoods. There's people walking around the neighborhoods. Look, there's people walking around the neighborhoods here. College students. This is a college town. The University of Idaho is right over.
JLR was in prison. So was I. I did time in prison. So, I mean, you can't judge people for what they've been through. Like I said, there's certain things that you can't let go, but I know he holds the world record for suing the most people. But hey, that's something that he did. We're not in his shoes to know what the situation was exactly, but I respect what he does on his reporting. I'm not going to judge him for his shit that he's done in his past. You know what I mean? Because I've seen a lot of people say he was bad news to me. In general, I'm here to report and look at these situations that are going on in Moscow and people that are reporting on it in general. I don't know. I'm a fan of what he does and the locations and how quick he gets there, and he pulls out that camera and he goes to work. He reports on exactly what we want to see as people. We want to see these locations. The police aren't giving it to us. JLR is nice enough to fucking go out there, in my opinion. I mean, and I don't hate the people who say, hey, I fuck JLR. That's your opinion. What do we preach? Opinions are opinions, right? But I get it.
There, look, there's the
It
Sigma
could be.
Chi. We've heard a
Just
lot
watch
about Sigma Chi. There is their fraternity, and the streets are backpacked with cars and people, and people going house to house partying. And looks like there's a porta potty at this home here.
He's sick.
They have a sign out here in front of the street that says, it's hard to read, but it says, no parking. No parking. You can hear, just listen. This is a weekend.
I agree, Gail.
Apartment complex next door. This is the Queen Street apartment. There you go. See the board?
Everybody, welcome in the docs to the Rev Game family. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Welcome.
All the windows boarded up. Front doors boarded up. They still have crime scene tape going around the home. Crime scene tape going around the Moscow home. And a fence. Look at this fence. Around the home.
I agree with that statement, Zooey143. But the only part I can't agree with is, like I said earlier, child molesters and rapists. I think they need to make a death penalty law for them type of people. You like what you like.
And there's a sign here that says, no trespassing. Keep out. They don't want anyone in the yard, period, at this home. Notice the satellite dish is still up. This is the side road here, the back of the house. Very hard to see at night with it out here. But here it is. Here is the home. Here is the back deck area. and see how cars. There's lots of cars up here, but you can't see right now. But there's cars parked, and there's music playing. You can clearly hear music coming from the homes around this business. You can clearly see the homes have people coming in and out. There's someone right there.
I can hear it.
Someone right out there. But it's a party town. This is a party town on the weekends. College students, they party. That's what goes on in Moscow. You can see neighborhoods. People are out and about in the neighborhoods. Look, people just walking around. This is a weekend night, and they are walking around
loud.
in Moscow, Idaho. So that's the latest here.
JLR, if you're in Moscow, Idaho, damn, I wish I was in that live. Go to that house next door and put your camera up like this. Raise it up a little bit. I want to see what that video camera looks like. I'm just saying. I'll pay for you. I'll pay for it. I'll pay. Go there, walk past, turn your camera up, and look up at that door like this with your camera pointed up. JLR, if you're watching this, point that sucker up like that. I got $500 on gas money. Point that sucker straight up. I want to see what that camera looks like.
Here, I am covering this case. Check out my videos in my playlist in Moscow. See how loud it is?
Life's gonna go on.
Hear it?
I get what you're saying, but
this is what goes on in this neighborhood. It looks like it's business as usual, despite this house being a crime scene. The surrounding homes, they're just partying away and loud, and I hear music, and I see people walking all over the streets around here.
No way.
At this area. Let me take you on a walk down here. Is it always loud like this on the weekend nights? Yeah. Oh, I'm filming this way.
He said I'm filming.
I'm filming this way.
He said I'm filming this way.
Oh, really? Seems loud. Party.
Got
Paid
some
enough
balls.
sitting out here? Get paid enough sitting out here? Be safe.
What's up, Texas Angel? No problem. In the
Get crazy down there. Thank you.
In the decks. Welcome, Vaughn.
Hear it.
Salvatore. No, you're not. It shows you not being one. I don't know why, but it does. It shows you not being one. T, am I a member?
This is what the neighborhood is like at night. You can hear it. So let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel.
It happens.
Hit the notification button. I am covering the Moscow, Idaho case, giving you a perspective of what goes on around the Moscow home on weekends. Clearly, you can hear lots of commotion coming out of all these homes. Mostly, probably the people that live in these homes around here go to the University of Idaho or maybe even Washington State University and home. But it's loud. It's loud. And, we listened to watch the videos at the Moscow, Idaho home and saw the body cam footage of police coming to the Moscow home up there, right around there, numerous times for noise complaints and whatnot and partying and stuff like that. And you can clearly hear that around this neighborhood, it is probably hard to sleep on a Saturday night. Maybe this goes on the weekends too, or the weekdays too. I don't know. I'm out here on a Friday night, and this is in April. This is in April, so it is, in the 40s right now. So it's not hot, it's not too cold, but they're out here, and this is what people do on the weekends. College students just having a good time. I think a lot of it's probably harmless. I do think there's probably a lot of
Right.
underage
I
drinking
agree with that
in
comment.
these homes around here. You can hear music too. So we'll talk soon. Justice for the victims in Moscow, Idaho. The 4 college students, Xana, Ethan, Madison, and Kaylee. There's people walking around behind me. You can see.
I agree with you, Mr. Mojo Risen. I do. No noise complaints. That shit is loud, right? And the fact that police were always called to that residence is interesting. In the fact that police were called there a lot, it seemed like. Maybe, what was there, 3 or 4 body cam footages of police going to the location to tell them about music being turned down and shit like that. So yeah, interesting. That's a great point. That man is out working. He said that man is out working. Who cares that he was in jail? He obviously not on the same path. Right. Hey, some people are going to be judgmental. Some aren't. I don't know. I just don't like to be judgmental. I don't want to be judgmental on your beliefs, but, I will state my opinion on what I believe. So I firmly stand on my opinions of what I believe. It's not me being judgmental. It's me going based off the experience I've been through. Defense of that. We all did shit in our past, brother. Salvatore says, I agree with Gail. He gets the info for everyone. What if JLR gets arrested for creeping? Hey, possibly could happen. Josie West says, thank you for commenting on child molesters and rapists. I've been a victim. Thank you and God bless. Absolutely. I've been a victim. So we're, you know what I mean? I stand with you on that, sis, all day. I stand with you on that all day long. I stand with you on that all day long. Jack D's house over there with H party going on. With party going on. Man, Osby says. Otsby. Maybe that's how you say it. So you're saying the house isn't Jack's far left though, down the court? So if you go down that street that JLR's on, let me point this arrow. So you would walk down here to this street, make a left, and go up. Isn't Jack's alleged house where he was at right there? Barbara said, "Oh my God, those kids are loud. No doubt. Ain't no doubt. That's definitely loud out there for sure." Well, he is debunking everyone saying that town is scared and nobody is outside. That's a good point right there. That's a good point. Oh my God. Very good point. Glad you brought that up. That does debunk that shit. Respecting all opinions is the best way to go. You can respectfully disagree. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, respectfully disagreeing, and there's two different things. You could be straight up just disrespectful and it's ignorant as fuck. Or you could state, why you feel that way and not be so, you know what I mean? And still get along with everybody at the end of the day. You're either going to be confrontational. Everybody's different, right? So we all respond to things differently. Some people respond back angry. Some people respond back nice. It just depends. It depends who you're talking to, honestly. That's how I look at it. Maxine Brock says, come to Idaho, I'll show you. Love from Idaho. He's in Boise, Idaho now. Lori Vallow case. I seen that. I seen the content on his channel just now. Tony, right. So who's lying? Freckle says. For real, T, point that camera, JLR. No doubt. I respect that shit. I don't see I don't see other people out there. We all talk about it, but nobody's out there, right? So I respect that. He's doing one more step than I am. He's going out there to the location. That's respect for me. I'm sure their house sounded like that too, right? Why was there always reports made on those kids? Anyways, if you want to call in, it's 219-885-9693. I'd love to hear from you. Let's hear about it. Anybody? I just took do not disturb all. I wanted to see those videos though, real quick. All college towns are like that. Sounds like Dr. Dre, says Al Mills. Shout out to everybody in the chat too, by the way. Nancy D, Natasha, or Natash Ski, the Chicantique, Carrie. I don't want to butcher your last name. Salvatore. He's talking to the security guard. Texas Angel, Miss Doozy. As one divided, we fall. TMC, Maria. 760, you in the hole. What's going on? You're live.
What's up, T-REV? So,
what's the
I've
word?
been trying to get through about this one for a little while. It might be a little bit off topic, but it's about the Idaho case.
Yeah.
I was watching this dude one time on live, and I don't know exactly how you do this. You might know how to do this. I don't know how to do it exactly, but he was showing how on Google you can search phrases that have been searched and see the frequency, like the amount of times they've been searched. And he was going back and searching things like Brian Kohberger suspect. And it had shown that over the years, there was like 4 different periods of time where somebody was searching Brian Kohberger suspect like multiple times in a week.
That's an interesting hunch.
Yeah, it made me wonder about these other murders that have been committed that people are talking about. Like, why would you be searching your name, suspect, and who else would be doing that?
Yeah, that's that's interesting. So who found that? Who was able to
Bro,
divulge
I
that?
wish I could remember. It was just when everything was kind of popping off, and I was just in some random live stream while I was working. I wish I could remember who it was. I just remember them showing that and thinking, wow, that's like really something there, dude. Why would you be searching your name, suspect, and nobody else would be doing that? Unless you had committed a crime that you thought maybe was newsworthy and was going to be somewhere in the news. And if they had a lead and it was you, then maybe there would be something in the news about you.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but that's it, man. I've been trying to get that one off for a while. Finally got through, and I don't know how you do it, but maybe someone in the chat does, or maybe someone can figure it out and see for yourself. But he was showing the screen as he was doing it, and I mean, unless he just faked the whole thing, which I don't know how or why you would even take the time to do that, really, but he was showing the screen as he did it, and it was showing the frequency of these, and it was like 12 times here, 10 times there, and then a year ago, a few times here, and 2 years ago, like a handful of times there. It was pretty wild.
I would love to friggin' know exactly where you seen that at and check that out, because that's actually I don't know how to do that. Right. I don't know how to do exactly what you just said, but that's interesting. And if somebody does know how to do that, call in. I'd love to hear about it.
I'll do some Googling. I'll check it out and look it up on Google and see if I can figure out how you do that. And if I do, I'll let you know. I'll send you an email.
Yeah, no doubt. If you find where you seen that at, I'd love to really check into that, because that's interesting.
Yeah, I'll try and check back. It was a while ago, but maybe if I search something, it'll pop up something I searched in the past. Maybe I'll be able to find it. We'll see.
Do you know how long ago it was?
Oh, had to have been months ago.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
if you find it, let me know.
All right, man. I will do.
I appreciate you calling in, brother. Thank you for having a voice. God bless you, my man.
All right. Yeah, have a good one, bro.
Yeah, you too. Be easy. Shout out to him, man. Lock your doors. You already know the drill. Shout out to him for calling in. Yeah. So, I mean, that's interesting. If somebody was able to find that information, which I don't know where you would find that, but if that is true, that's crazy, right? Like if he was looking up Brian Kohberger suspect years ago. Mind over matter, dropped the mic. What happened? What'd he say? What'd he say? So I'm but judgmental about him being in prison. Okay, I get that. People can change. He has hurt victims and their families recently. Law enforcement and families didn't like him compromising active cases. we live in the United States for a reason, right? So it's his right. He can go anywhere people are, as long as it's not on property and he's not trespassing. He can go and hold the camera up wherever he feels free to hold the camera up, right? I mean, some people will look at it differently and some people won't. For me, I mean, I don't know what cases you're talking about him compromising in general. Maybe I haven't seen that content that you're talking about, but I mean, you're free to go anywhere in the United States, I feel like. I mean, we're supposed to be a free country and you can go stand and record and do whatever you want. Preach, preach. What was I saying? I forgot. Back in 419, that's when you said that, Hollis. I live in a college town and it's creepy quiet at night near the school where they all live. I swear I read the driver was cleared and read he, not she. It was very early on in the police finding, I think maybe before he was arrested. Listen, okay, yes, it's me. Let's go ahead and go over that. So you're talking about he, not she. He was the Uber driver, alleged Uber driver or private ride. I'm pretty sure that was the he that you might have read about. Chat, let me know if I'm wrong. How does that Nightbot thing decide what to say? It seems like a Karen. I guess I'm a Karen because I wrote all of it. Damn, T-REV's a Karen. Lisa, you got me. I'm a Karen. I put everything inside of that Nightbot. I did. I wrote everything. Mostly everything. I'll say that, right? I'll say I put mostly everything in there. I did have some mods that at one point, a while ago, way before, probably like listen to me, a year and a half ago, where they actually went and changed shit in Nightbot. But me, I put everything up to recent. Brian, oh my God, that makes sense. Mr. Moto, I don't mind being black, but I want to be a member. What you guys talking about in here? The hell did I miss? Nightbot is a troll, Mac Pride says. Love Nightbot. The data can be manipulated. Interesting. I have only said something twice to you and have ranted quite a lot. Respect people here or you get timed out. Maldi Mamas, that's a fact. I think my mods do a great job for the most part. I don't, we've had mod problems in the past, but I think we straightened that shit out. In my opinion, it was Brian Kohberger driver and Mr. Harsh was the lookout. I wish I could remember Brent knew exactly how to get the deed done. Becky. They're coming from Becky. Interesting. Interesting hunch. It looks like I missed the call. 646 in the mix. Let me hit you back. My bad. I didn't even know that was on. You're in the mix. What's going on?
T-REV, I called earlier, but I just wanted to say this really quick. People are saying, all right, let's just put our thinking caps on here, and I say that politely, but people are saying they don't think that it could be Brian. Guys, how do we then? What do we say about the fact that his car was not only there, it was there for 14 minutes? I mean, he wasn't a driver.
Nothing has been recorded. Record your message.
Not only being there that day, but also having gone by there. I just don't. Some people are saying no, it wasn't him. Well, his phone was there, his car was there, and he was there for 14 minutes until 4 something a.m.
Mm-hmm.
How do you respond to that? You know what I mean?
Right.
If he was a driver and he's dropping off food, just that whole line is just crazy to me. But he's not a driver. If he's dropping off somebody, he's dropping off food, they're in, they're out. The guy was there for 14 minutes. So what are we going to do? Just overlook that? And his DNA is on the sheet. It's there. Even if it's a minute amount, it's still there. Just to close our eyes and just try to, and not look at these simple facts. How could it not be him?
Right.
Do people just not want it to be him? You know what I mean? Of course it's him. But if it's not him, then what was he doing there for 14 minutes? Someone explain that to me, please.
Yeah.
And then, and then you have him driving out to the country, like an hour drive the long way home, where the Snake River is. I think it's the Snake River. There's just so many things there that guy's doing that's suspect. But not only that, it's just, come on. I mean, do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's just frustrating. It's like watching that video and seeing that, that party house. I mean, I can tell you if I was a neighbor, I'd be so irritated, but I also would never live in that area. As a party town, I just wouldn't put myself in that situation where I wouldn't be able to sleep. And that would frustrate me. But, seeing that just brings me back there and seeing that house be dark and everybody's partying around it. And these kids' lives are just gone, just snapped out. That's it, gone. And then hearing some people think, Brian didn't do it, and respect everybody's opinion, and that's what this is about. I love it when people call in and give their opinion because it's fun. It's fun to hear everybody's opinion, and it takes courage, and I love that. I love that about callers, but it just makes me really sad to think that we could even close our eyes to some of the most obvious evidence, and like. Cheek Antique, I just adore you. I think you're great. I would love to hear you call in and I want to hear your opinion. I would really love to hear your perspective. I mean, absolutely, with huge open arms to you. If you want to call in, I would love to hear where you're coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going to get off the phone so she can call, but I would like to hear, am I missing something here? You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. That's the same thing I say to myself when I watch certain videos people send me. I'll be like, am I missing something? Is there some, or and I figured it out. I personally think I figured it out. People are going based off the PCA affidavit. They're saying there's holes in this, and they're looking elsewhere and finding players that could potentially fit that piece to be involved in these murders.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people are doing. And in general, can I blame them? No. What do we do? We're web sleuths. We're on here all the time. We talk about true crime. We're into true crime. Has there been crazy ass cases where tons of different people have been involved? Hell yeah, there has been. So I think that's where a lot of that shit comes in. And, you got a lot of people that stand on one side, and you got a lot of people that stand on this side. I respectfully respect all opinions. But
yeah, I do too. But
it is what it is.
Here would be my question then to that. But then what do we do with the evidence, the fact that he was there for 14 minutes? So somebody tell me, what was he doing there for 14 minutes? I mean, how do we just not look at that?
Exactly. That's why, and that's another reason. If you watch, I don't know if you see my video I put out, but I told my theory in it. And I said what I believe. I said, and if the evidence comes out that they only have a knife sheath on this guy, no blood on any of his clothing at his apartment, nothing, not just the knife sheath and the knife sheath only. And with everything that they have now, okay, possibly, I would start feeling some type of way, but yeah, I'd feel some type of way. I'd start thinking different avenues, or could somebody have possibly had been vindictive against him and wanted to do something to him? But in general, he's not even from that area. He's from Pennsylvania. He's in class grading people like shit, treating people like shit, allegedly. And then after the murders, he becomes some good guy, or you know what I mean? Like he turned into some great, confident guy.
And let's just not forget that if this guy had nothing to do with it, we have an individual that's in Pennsylvania in the middle of the night at 4:30 a.m. throwing out his garbage in his neighbor's trash
with gloves on.
Clothing. I mean, give me a break.
With gloves on.
Huh?
With gloves on.
Exactly.
I mean, that's where I stand at. That's where I'm looking at it kind of like you're looking at it. Like, well, but
those are not actions of an innocent guy that, has not been, that didn't do anything. No way. I just respectfully to everybody, I would just, what do you do with the actual evidence? If it can't be Brian and that's your opinion, well, then what do we do with the evidence that we know is for certain, that absolutely is pointing to him? I mean, that we know, I mean, he's there for 14 minutes. His phone's there. His car's there. He's caught on camera. I mean, his DNA's on the sheet. regardless, that's what we know right now. He's throwing out his trash. I just, in the middle of the night with gloves on. The list goes on. There was other things there that were just so obvious that pointed to him. They on the phone tracking, they have him going by there. He goes back the next morning at 9 a.m. Why would this random individual be there the night of the murders, at the time of the murders, his phone, his car, for 14 minutes, and then go back at 9 a.m.? And he's not a part of this. It doesn't make any sense.
So what did you think about that news clip where that guy was in a blue jacket standing out front, directly middle shot of the residence, and then in the back you see like a white Elantra go by, and it looks like that dirty, rusty, musty ass white Elantra?
Yeah.
Did you see that clip? Did you see that clip?
No, I don't think I did. I think I was just thinking that's a cop video of him in the field. No, I haven't seen that. And if you get a low point and you want to play it, I would love to see it. But what about it?
Okay, so the guy's out there reporting in the back right-hand side on that back road. I think it's Walenta. I think that's the name of the street. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in chat. But you see a white Elantra come cruising by, and the guy's out there reporting. I'm like, what the fuck?
Really?
Yeah, it looks just like that. It looks just like it. But it's a little distance away. Yeah, you could say that. People could argue that. But it looks like a white Elantra that comes by.
That would not surprise me at all. These types of, that's my time.
It does, though. It looks like a white Elantra, and I got to find that video to play for you.
100%. And cheek on cheek, call in, girlfriend. I want to hear from you. And a huge arms open wide to you, and no judgment.
Absolutely. God bless you. I appreciate you calling in and having a voice. Wonderful conversation.
This is West End Girl.
I know. West End Girl, I enjoy when you call in. Thank you for calling.
Thanks, T-REV. All right.
I appreciate you. God bless you, West End Girl. Lock your damn doors.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to West End Girl, man. Shout out to West End Girl. We got to give it up for her, I need my screen deck. Woo! Good call. Great call. But hey, it is what it is. Everybody's got their own thoughts. Crime Solver, why do people keep saying we need to respect the evidence? We haven't seen any evidence yet. We've seen what we've seen. It's not respect the evidence. I get what you're saying to counter what she was saying, but I've never said respect the evidence in general. I'm saying wait till evidence comes out. Because in general though, look how everything turned out with Jack DeCour. A lot of us thought Jack DeCour did it. It was at some point we had 3,000 to 4,000 people in our live, and 90% of them thought it was Jack DeCour out of like freaking 4,000 or 5,000 votes. That's insane. So a lot of us thought Jack DeCour had, done this allegedly, right? And we were wrong. I was one of them. And then the last couple of days, I'd say like maybe a week and a half before Brian got arrested, I was like, man, this is somebody we don't know. And then all of a sudden, Brian Kohberger gets arrested. So, in general, respect the evidence. We got a knife sheath with his DNA on it. Alleged phone pings. Allegedly him being there for 14 minutes. So, I guess that's what she means by respect the evidence. But like I said, I want to see more. Which in a stabbing like this, I believe there would be more. I believe there would be blood in his vehicle or on his clothing or it rubbed off on, his seats, headrests, shit like that. I personally believe that. That's just my opinion, but that's what I've seen in other stabbing cases. I want to know why they are using DM's phone instead of the victim's phones, because Kaylee's family only got into her phone. I love hearing thoughts. I love hearing the thoughts of others. Absolutely, Jen. I'm with you. Same here. I love hearing it. Even if I don't agree with it and respectfully disagree, I love hearing people out. Can't just be like, yo, you're whacked out. Let's hang up on. It doesn't work like that. Then you're one-minded if you're that way. Doc, T drove the whole GCA. It's my hunch. Something is going to come out. That's why they are so quiet. They got a big secret. Dr. Thrifty, you may be right. You may be right about that. They put big gag orders on what? What about the Delphi cases? You know what I mean? I think they had a big gag order on that one. On the OJ case, they had a gag order on that one. It's crazy. Thank you. I appreciate it. So the Chicon Teak, call in 219-885-9693. 937 sent from heaven. You're live. What's going on? Can you hear me?
Is this Keith?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. This is the other Aaron.
What's going on, the other Aaron? You are live.
I know. I haven't been calling for a while. And after Saul talked today, I was like, I'm thinking he's nailing it. I think that Kohberger came in the back. Ethan heard it, come out to see what it was. He went for Ethan first. That's when they said they heard somebody's in here. Whoever said that, I don't remember who said that. And then I think he went upstairs after that. And then Xana, he must have got Xana right after Ethan. But I don't know. Still KB. I don't think it's anybody helping him at all. He knows where the knife is. And a knife sheath, if you're wearing it military-wise, it's on your belt. It's, you slip it on your belt, and then there's a hole in the bottom where you tie it on your thigh. So in my mind, I'm like, how did that even get there with just a little, what do they call that, DNA they found on it? Cellular, or I don't know what they called it, but it wasn't
Touch
straight up.
DNA, or I forget exactly.
Yeah, yep, that's it, exactly what I mean, touch DNA.
So he's definitely touched it before.
Oh, absolutely, but wouldn't there be marks on the leather, or does not? It has to have some kind of something on it.
And it's also, I can also see why people say things like, well, because it's alleged that it was sent to one lab didn't find something, but the other lab did. So I can see where a lot of that stuff comes into also.
Yeah.
The opinions.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with you. And allegedly, some labs are shady. And I do think that KB studied serial killers deeply. He studied them. Obviously, he was in criminal justice or whatever he wanted to do. Now he's just going to do time, or hopefully the end of time. But what else was I going to bring up? That fence around the house, the way they guarded the house, they should have never took anything out of that house, because if the jury goes in there, and they could be suited up so they don't have to smell any of the bio stuff, but the sounds that would come from the house would matter if there was furniture in there. If you walk into a house in your house shopping and it's kind of empty, it echoes. You're not really going to get a real feel for, the sounds.
Right.
That's what I think.
No doubt.
But they've already taken out stuff. I'm sure they're not going to bring it back.
Didn't we see the mattresses and all that come out?
Oh yeah.
I
think I saw 2 come out for sure. But yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Maybe they're stripping the mattresses down, but for me, I want the jury to go through the house. I don't think they should tear it down, but there should be hey, there's no furniture in here. The sounds are going to be different. And that's
probably testing. Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe they're testing those beds. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with them, but they're doing something with them, right?
Yeah, and even if he went home and showered, you'd have to shower yourself 20 times, and he laid his head on that pillow. There's DNA there. I don't care how many times he washed his hair and stuff. There's DNA.
That's why I'm saying if there's not any other evidence other than just the knife sheath and what they got with pangs, then yeah, there's going to be a fighting case for the defense, period.
Yeah, but we don't know all they have, and I'm sure
Exactly.
they have a lot.
Exactly. Remember I said, I don't know. I think maybe you commented on the video where I told my theory, but that I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I go back and I revisit these other stabbing cases that I've seen in the past, and I'm like, there's look at all the evidence that are in these cases. And I go, this is what we should be looking for.
For sure. They don't know what they're doing. I've told you before. It's like the Keystone Cops over there. Come on, pull it together. Maybe they do need the fucking Texas Rangers. They do. And down in Texas, they don't mess. You know, you get on death row, you're counting your days. They don't mess down there. They want people gone.
I think, you know what, and I want to make this, I don't know what you think about the gag order, but I personally think the gag order in this particular case is actually destroying. It's making people rant more. It's making people, I think the gag order being as tight as it is, period, I think it's hurting the case more than it is helping.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And
that's just me, though.
How he got an ID, maybe, was it Maddie who was moving?
Maddie that was with what?
Was she moving the next day? Maddie?
Kaylee was.
Kaylee. Maybe she just
was
threw
already
her ID down.
She was already moved.
Maybe she just threw her ID down there and was like, well, I don't need that, you know, and he grabbed it. Who knows? Who knows? I also heard that they found that ID inside a glove in a box. And I don't know where I heard that. But, you know, yeah, that gag order is just, it's making us all like, why aren't you telling us anything? But if you look on his look on the face when they first walk him into the courtroom, it's blank. It's like, yeah, I did it. Look at me, you know. I might be better looking than Ted Bundy, you know, it's just a weird look. The whole case is weird. Like I said, roller coasters, twists and turns. I think he's done things before. Like I said in chat, I think he's probably killed people from PA or maybe from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast.
Yeah, that's
and gotten away with it. That's my opinion, you know. But if his touch DNA is in the system, bingo, you know, that don't lie. And CODIS is, you know, they grow all the time. Anybody in jail now got to be swabbed, right?
Absolutely. They take your DNA, fingerprints, all that shit.
Even with a DUI or something like that, do they swab?
I mean, in certain states, I know they do. Pennsylvania, they did. 100%.
Yeah.
Misdemeanors, they're taking your DNA now. In Pennsylvania, 100%. Commonwealth state.
Oh, PA. But, I don't know. That's my thoughts. And I do believe it's Sal. I'm on Sal. I think he's nailing it. I really do. When I think about what he's saying, I'm like, you know, so right. Oh, my time's up. It was good to talk to you, Trev. Keep healthy.
I appreciate you calling in.
Feel good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you calling in, Aaron. The other Aaron.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, baby.
I remember that.
Thank you.
I remember that shit. Thank you so much for calling in. God bless you. Lock your doors, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Love ya.
God bless you. Love you back. Shout out to her, man. It's a wonderful soul. Wonderful soul. Wonderful soul. Woo. Man, oh man. We've been live for 3 hours. I think I'm gonna get off here for the day, but I might be live on my other channel. I don't know yet. I'm debating on my second channel. If you're interested in what I do on my second channel, which is T-REV 757 Paranormal and Gaming, make sure you subscribe, come over there and check us out. I do go live over there. I've been going live over there a decent amount of times. Let's see. I can't count how many times, but I've definitely been live over there. So if you want to catch me over there, possibly. I don't know if I'm going to be live again. I'm not even going to make that promise because I usually don't But I will talk to you guys then. Thank you so much. Love you guys, and you have a wonderful day.